My name is James Rollins, and in 2015 I started the WNR podcast with my friend
Dan White. And every month we bring you the latest collections, newest content, 205 Live and the crown jewel of the WNR NXT update.
Also each month the latest pay-per-views, and we are live not only for the Big Four but every takeover as well.
Plus, in 2019, we go back 20 years and witness the Attitude Rise and the WCW's demise.
Until we've watched everything, we're with you, and we are the WNR. Yes, hello, I am James Rollins, and as always I'm joined by
Dan White.
And today it's the WNR247, it's WWE Clash of Champions. Dan, excited for tonight's event?
I'm excited, there's a few good matches on the lineup, you know, of course the best is in tonight, Randy Orton as well, so we've always got that to look forward to.
I tell you what, if Randy Orton walks away as WWE Champion, you will just be unbearable. But
aren't I anyway?
Yeah, well, some might say, but before we do anything, let's do the Orton intro. I'm not even going to swat that fly. I hope they are watching. They'll see and they'll know, and they'll say, why? He wouldn't even harm a fly. And that's from Norman Bates in Psycho 1960. But we do prediction leagues here. Dan, do you want to explain the prediction leagues for everybody?
Yes, we have 3 predictions league. We have WWE pay-per-views, we have NXT pay-per-views, and we have a bonus prediction league. And I'm not even going to go into the scores because you're a dickhead.
Yeah, I'm not going to mention NXT at 4-4 at the moment. All bonus points 28-23 for me, or even pay-per-views 8-4. I'm not that guy, all right? But anyway, let's start. What better way to kick off then with kickoff? And it's the Cruiserweight title on the line. It's Drew Gulak going to defend against Humberto Carrillo and Lince Dorado. So we've seen what happened on 205 Live with Carrillo getting an opportunity, but Dorado beating Carrillo and entered into a triple threat match.
Yes, Drew Gulak come out of the blocks quickly, drop kicking Humberto and then turn his attention to Dorado.
So prediction wise in this one, Dan, before it really heats up, who have you gone for in this match?
Find it. I have gone for... And still Cruiserweight champion Drew Gulak.
Yeah, I too have gone Drew Gulak in this one. And look at Carrillo and Dorado, what they can do. Beautiful spinning attack there, and Carrillo taking out Gulak out the ring. But I've enjoyed Gulak's Cruiserweight title run. He's kind of, I don't know if he's brought legitimacy to it, but he's a lot stronger than Tony Nese was. Was Tony Nese a complete failure as Cruiserweight champion?
He wasn't the best Cruiserweight champion. I mean, you know, I can think of worse off the top of my head. Enzo.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah.
But, you know, it wasn't a great successful run, but he had a chance, and, you know, they're just trying to see what works with him, basically.
Out, and we've seen two guys who have not had an opportunity before in Dorado and Carrillo, and Dorado just jumped off the barricade.
A lovely Hurricane Rana there from the barricade.
And he's taken out the Cruiserweight champ, and he throws Carrillo back in, and Dorado trying to take advantage.
Well, it's certainly a champion's disadvantage here. You know, he can not get pinned and lose the title.
Right, Dak defending the Cruiserweight title before, but this time, because it's under the NXT umbrella, as it was now, we get the kind of lights down, the spotlights on, and Carrillo showing his athleticism. Carrillo does one of your favourite moves, or one of his moves.
The old boing, flip, crossbody, flippy thing.
Yeah, I mean, if we see that tonight, we're definitely going to have a new champion here, I'll tell you that. But it's going to be difficult, like I said, with the extra man here with a triple threat. But we always bring hope to pay-per-views, and it does feel like a long one, doesn't it? You know, SummerSlam.
It feels like an age ago. I know we've had NXT UK pay-per-view since then, which was off the fucking charts. Absolutely brilliant pay-per-view.
Well, I don't think it's going to... Night Champions will... Clash of Champions will live up to it. I always get confused because we had Night of Champions for a little bit. Clash of Champions more WCW, and now they pull it back. I think Clash is better than Night.
Well, you know, I don't think the name of the pay-per-view really changes the content of the pay-per-view, so they can call it whatever the fuck they want, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's WWE, hashtag WWE Clash, not WWE Cock tonight, just in case you're using the hashtag. as Gulak has grounded Carrillo now.
I think Dorado's out on the mats, recuperating, getting himself ready to look for his next spot, I presume.
And the thing is, as well as Gulak, such a ring general, well, for Dorado.
So Gulak seems quite, in the favour of Gulak. We've both gone for him. Is there any reason why, or do you just think he's had a successful run thus far with the Cruiserweight Championship?
I think it's been a good run, but I no offence to Carrillo Dorado, I just can't see either of them men just ready yet. I think when you look at the 205 Live roster, I don't think there's that many people at the moment who can really challenge and, actually have like a kind of competitive feel. We've seen Gulak versus Lorcan. We love Lorcan, but I think with Gulak, he might need a couple of new challenges. And I think 205 Live has been affected as well because of the kind of, you look at the people that have left as well recently, and they've not really kind of brought any new ones in. It's kind of the same guy. I mean, I know Carrillo might be classed as new, but we've seen him before, haven't we,
Absolutely, yeah. And I don't think there's any big names, any people that you're like, oh, yeah, we had Neville for a little while, and as much as it pains me, even Enzo Amore, yeah. I mean, he was a big name despite his crap talent and just fucking general hateability, but, he was someone that brought eyes to the product.
Well, I think 205 Live has been left out to dry. I know Luke House Party have featured on Raw, but with Gulak, he's someone that could do wonders, I think, as champion, if given the right spotlight. And I don't think the Cruiserweight, even, it's on kickoff again. We've stopped kind of watching 205 like on a week in, week out, because it's just kind of not being featured. There's no doubt everybody can go in that division, but when there's no story to it, it's just kind of, you can see that kind of wrestling anywhere now,
Absolutely, yeah. Does it need some bigger names, some drawing power?
I think it does. I think it needs to. 205 Live's been around for nearly 2 years now, and it's not had its own kind of standalone event or a pay-per-view. And when you consider NXT UK have had two now, and obviously with the takeover events and even stuff like Evolution last year, a Cruiserweight only pay-per-view would have seemed exciting a year ago, and now it just sounds.
I don't think they've got the depth really, because they're just rehashing stories, and it's it's just getting.
I think so, but like I said, the action is incredible.
Absolutely, yeah. Drew Gulak had Dorado up on his shoulders, and Carrillo just come flying over the top rope, taking them both out.
Definitely get the fans on their feet in this one.
If the performers aren't on their feet at the moment.
Exactly. All three men down. Carrillo beautifully there. You can see the replay. Didn't touch top rope. And can he take advantage of this young man? Alberto Del Rio's son is looking for first championship opportunity. I think if we start that rumour now, I think that will gain some traction. Do you know what I mean? People will say.
Indeed. Well, he is the love child of Paige and Del Rio.
Yeah.
Is that a bit too far?
It might be a bit too soon. Paige's mum, maybe. But Carrillo there looking to have Dorado down, and Gulak managing to stop it.
Gulak bouncing Carrillo's head off the top turnbuckle, going to place him upstairs, going to try and do something a bit drastic to retain his title.
They look for a superplex, but Carrillo fighting back now.
Gulak's in the drop zone.
Oh, we might see it. Here comes Carrillo. No.
Wow, looking for a moonsault there, but Gulak had his feet up. Carrillo lands on his feet, got an inverted figure four sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter type of thing. And Gulak might tap, but Dorado now.
Well, he's got his own submission locked in. Gulak's going to try and take over. Uses Dorado as a battering ram to take out Carrillo. Goes for the cover, but only a 2 count.
2. Well, Dorado looked like a javelin there.
Yes, and Carrillo the javelin catcher. Classic JR line there.
And now Gulak's going to slam Dorado. No, Dorado managing to roll Gulak up.
No, but Carrillo stealing the prize, rolling up Dorado.
Oh, and a couple of 2s there.
2.
Gulak again, trying to roll up Carrillo, but Dorado in to stop it. The action's been thick and fast.
Each man taking the other out, and ends up with Drew Gulak clotheslining Carrillo out.
Really nice stuff there for 3 guys. There's no doubt, given time, the people in 205 Live can deliver. But it's like the forgotten stepchild at the moment, isn't it,
Absolutely, yeah. It was good for a while, and then it's kind of just slowly declining. Do you think it should be made part of either NXT or one of the other brands?
Yeah, I think it needs it now. I think it just needs to bleed into it and just become a title defended on that show. I don't think 205 Live, you're going to miss that much. People maybe like Mike Kellelis might not get matched, but that's not a bad thing, is it?
That's a good thing. Well, do you think, seeing as though the episode number, do you think the 24/7 title will be defended here tonight on episode 24/7?
I didn't even figure that. Yeah, I mean, you never know. All champions are meant to be defending. Will we see R-Truth somewhere in the back? And Dorado running towards Gulak.
Oh, he gets flipped over, takes out Carrillo with a drop kick. Super kicks Gulak down, and now he's up top meeting Humberto.
And these two men all the way up. That's fucking brilliant.
Hurricane Rana off the top. Now he's going to put Humberto in the drop zone.
You're going to look for the shooting star?
Oh. Well, Carrillo moved out of the way. Springboard kick.
Just need to take a breath sometimes, didn't they? You know what I mean? Like with Carrillo. And now Carrillo's going up. Here we go.
Boing, flip. Lands it.
It's over.
No. Gulak in. Throws Humberto into the ring post. Roll up on Dorado. 2, 3.
Wow. And what a old-fashioned way of winning there with a gut wrench into the pin.
I'm not sure about that final sequence. The rest of the match was good, on point, non-stop action, but that end, it kind of slightly ruined it for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit where Gulak retains, but I think a good way to start the show and actually quite entertaining there, and hopefully the rest of the show can live up to the action that we've just seen, and walks out as still your Cruiserweight champion. It means we've got our first points of the night as well, so 1-1, and like I said, 12 matches, and the kickoff panel, of course, Booker T, Coach, Charlie Caruso, and David Utunga. But more shockingly, our next match is for the United States Championship. It's AJ Styles versus Cedric Alexander. Now, Dan, it's quite an obvious question. Why is AJ on pre-show, or should he be on there? I mean,
well, shouldn't the question be, why is AJ on the pre-show yet Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman get 2 matches on the main card?
Is that how much better Rollins is compared to AJ Styles? I mean, is it a fall from grace, or is it just because he's so reliable they can treat him like this in that way?
Well, I don't know. I think it's an injustice personally, but even Cedric Alexander, I mean, he was on 205 Live, couldn't get off the kickoff show. Now he's joined the main roster and can't get off the kickoff show.
Yeah, and that is true. AJ Styles coming out here with the OC as well, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, former Raw Tag Team Champions. And this is a match that could have been a pay-per-view. And like I said, there's a big moment for Cedric Alexander even. We're not getting it. Prediction-wise, it's me to go first. I have gone for, in this match, let me just find it. It's AJ Styles, but it's somewhere. There we go.
Styles,
yes.
AJ.
Both gone AJ Styles in this one. Why? Why have you gone AJ Styles for?
Isn't obvious.
It is now. It's on the kickoff.
Especially with the OC in his corner as well. Cedric Alexander, he was the heart and soul of 205 Live. But, I just don't think one-on-one, maybe he would be able to beat AJ Styles, because it seems that there are quite a few people that can beat Styles. With the OC in his corner, I'm not quite sure. I think Cedric needs a couple of friends in his back pocket.
Yeah. And what's even weirder as well is Alexander just got fantastic reception, because he's in even the hometown and nearby his family are ringside, and yet he's not getting on the actual pay-per-view. And if any two men can deliver a great match, it's going to be AJ Styles and Cedric Alexander.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
But we saw it with Daniel Bryan, he was on kickoff a couple of pay-per-views ago, and now where is he? This is the kind of thing that we're seeing, so maybe it's not all about being on the show. What we thought of AJ Styles' United States title reign?
Again, it's a reliable person to have a title on. He's going to deliver very good matches, above par matches. So, yeah, why not?
Wait a minute, AJ went running into Cedric, hit him with a Chinoku driver.
And Alexander nearly getting a shock victory before the OC can get involved.
And AJ doesn't know what's hit him, and here comes Cedric.
And Alexander comes flying over the top rope, takes out Styles. Well, he's definitely brought it here tonight.
Will it be the age of Alexander? Here he comes. And that was beautiful there. Handspring into the Insecurity, but only a 2. And Cedric just so quick. One of the most kind of underrated guys. We talked about what 205 Live is missing. And it is someone like Cedric, who I think is grown on the main roster.
Unbiased, Cedric or Murphy?
What, right at this moment, I'd probably pick Cedric.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because of even the storyline. We're about an underdog who, can come good.
Oh, wow. Cedric Alexander looking to springboard in, but Styles, on top of his game, sweeps the legs out and just bounces Alexander off the top rope, who lands on the edge of the ring apron, and Styles is going to attack him now. Turns him inside out with a suplex on the edge of the ring. And Alexander's selling is just absolutely on point.
Well, Cedric is in serious trouble at the moment, and AJ looking to take advantage, and what's he going to do on the outside?
Styles clash.
Oh! And that could be it right on those mats. And how thin are those mats now?
Those mats are just mere millimetres thick, and they're over pure concrete. Literally unforgiving.
And Cedric is out, there's no doubt.
Well, Alexander has had a pinfall victory over Styles, so I think, he's just going to try and pay him back. Goes for the cover, but pulls Alexander's head up before we get free.
But this is the thing as well, it's quite good. So, Cedric's proven that he can beat AJ. AJ kind of doesn't respect Cedric that much because AJ is this kind of top talent. And to be kind of on the kickoff's a little bit of a surprise, but like I said, we need space for Seth Rollins, so.
Absolutely, yes, and one match just isn't enough.
AJ Styles over the inverted net breaker.
On the plus side, we do have 3 women's matches.
Yeah, so at least a quarter of the matches here tonight are with women, and the matches that I'm also looking forward to as well. Like I said, the pay-per-view has potential here tonight, and AJ now looking to end it with the calf crusher, but he caught Cedric. Like Cedric trying to avoid it.
Rolls through, but Alexander's just a bit too close to the rope. Manages to get hold of the bottom one. Styles is forced to break.
Of course, this is the heel as well, and I think it fits the character quite well. It's nice to see.
Absolutely. Can you see Finn Balor joining the OC?
I think possibly. I think the possibilities are endless. What they could do with that, building up towards like a proper Balor versus AJ feud as well. And I think what else is Finn going to do? He's kind of lost in the kind of mid card. I know AJ's United States champion, but for me, he's not a mid carder, is he?
Absolutely not. No, but I think with Finn, it's going to be something that we haven't seen of him in a heel turn.
We wait so long for AJ, and it's kind of bearing fruit now, and it's the same with Finn Balor.
Well, we had a heel turn when he was going against John Cena, and that kind of went as quickly as it started, basically, and now we've got him back, and I thoroughly enjoy it. And AJ Styles is one of the most durable performers you can get.
As I say, he's Mr. Reliable. Everything he does is at least good. And Cedric with a back elbow to AJ Styles knocking him back.
Alexander springboarding in, planting Styles face first into the mat. Goes for a cover. Oh, only a 2 count.
2.
So do you think Styles is regretting his earlier decision of not pinning Alexander when he had the chance?
I think he is. I think Cedric's shown a lot more fight. Oh, but AJ there, that was lovely.
Just a huge reversed inverted DDT.
I mean, last week we were watching, or last episode, watching stuff 20 years ago. This stuff seems much faster now. It's like it's on fast.
Well, James,
forward.
we was watching a Sid Vicious match.
But...
And we was watching Hogan versus Sting in the main event.
And now we're watching Styles versus Alexander, and here comes AJ in.
Was that a phenomenal one?
Phenomenal forearm. Knocking Cedric silly.
Now to the Styles clash.
Hits it.
Rolls him up. 1, 2, 3. And statement made from Styles.
Was Cedric squashed in that one there? What do you
I
think
would
of the match?
say so, yes. I'll say Alexander was squashed by Styles, but with someone with the talent of AJ, there's no other way, and the OC wasn't even out here.
Well, AJ didn't even need him, and now it's going to be a 3-1 beatdown. And that is really strange about Cedric being sacrificed there, especially after building up some momentum, but maybe Styles is moving on to big and better things after this. And the OC just beating down Cedric. Styles, exclamation point on the victory. And disappointment there, but like I said, not a bad match. I don't think these two can have a bad match, but it was over really, really quickly. And that is it for kickoff. So up next, we move on to the main show promo tonight. So it's basically the same WWE do every time now with their promo saying tonight, running through the matches, but not in a kind of interesting way, just kind of samey. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but completely differently from the WWE pay-per-view we watched last time. It was it's not just focused on one match. Yeah, it may be focused mainly on one man, Seth Rollins, but not focused on one single match, and every match has its own story and has its own meaning and point to being on the card.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. We should say points after the pre-show. It is 2-2. We've both got point for AJ Styles. So it's 2-2 now, leading into the first match of the main show. and it's burn it down. Seth Rollins coming out a Universal Champ, going to defend tag team titles alongside Braun Strowman against, well, what can I say? A glorious team. I mean, I knew Bobby Roode would come good, and that's why I've always been such a huge fan of him. You know, I always thought he'd come through, and he has.
Well, we'll see how these can go. I mean, look what happened to the last bloke you teamed with, Dolph Ziggler. I mean, where is he now?
I mean, Dolph Ziggler has great choices in tag team partners. I've got to say that. Like, fair play to Ziggler. We should say, I mean, the build up to this, Ziggler and Roode came out from nothing to actually become number one contenders to the tag team titles, beating supposed tag teams. I don't mind it. I'm a fan of Ziggler and Roode, even though this kind of needs to stop, this kind of thing. We just need to focus on the tag team division and build it. But will the tag team division tonight be glorious?
Well, they are glorious show-offs.
Who have you gone for in this match?
And still a boring tag team.
You gone Zigood. Yeah, boy. I've gone Ziggler and Roode as well. What are your reasons behind going for the new greatest tag team?
Well, I think, seeing as though they've got a match later on tonight for the Universal Championship, I think there's going to be some sparks between Rollins and Strowman. And it's not going to be down to Ziggler and Roode being better than them. It's just going to be
miscommunication
about Strowman and Rollins.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said,
Strollins.
Strollins. They're gonna see a little bit of tension. Like I said, it's a first match of the card and probably main event here tonight as well. But it should be interesting. I mean, I think we know my thoughts on single wrestlers being paired together.
I know we've got two tag teams worth of them.
It's almost like they heard me and were like, I'll tell you what, let's do it. What are your thoughts on these two tag teams?
Well, Ziggler and Roode, you know, they're two guys, they're floundering around, they're not really doing much. Yeah, why not stick them together? How long will they last together? I just have no idea. Rollins and Strowman, on the other hand, I think, you know, it is good. You know, sticking two people that are going to be going against each other as a tag team. I think that's quite a fun idea, and, you know, you always know there's going to be a bit of friction between the two of them. So they're kind of like reluctant tag team partners, so to speak.
Yeah, I think there's an interesting story there. I don't think their Universal title match has got me that excited, but it's interesting to see someone like Roode and Ziggler teaming up, because even, you know, not wearing the same outfits per se, but, you know, matching colour schemes now. So maybe this is going to be something that we look at. Saying that, though, they'll probably just drop the titles to fucking Yossi and on Raw or something like that. They need to go with their tag team division. I think tag team wrestling is a great kind of form of wrestling, and I don't think it is used right in WWE, you know, in that way. Anywho, let's see what they can do. And it's going to be Strowman in there with Bobby Roode, and of course, you've got the Powerhouse versus Braun.
Who was Roode teaming up with before? Gable. So they've both of these guys have had more partners than Katie Price.
Yeah, that would be fair to say. I mean, Ziggler has been he's just been around, hasn't he? Jack Swagger and all that lot.
He's been with everyone as well, yeah. Well, get these hard. I don't think Roode's going to stack up very well against Strowman.
Bobby Roode won't be scared. He's pushed away there.
Robert Roode. What do you think? Robert Roode, or is it always going to be Bobby in your eyes?
It'll be Bobby in my heart. Yeah, I mean, that time in NXT was magical. And everybody go back and listen to it. That's why NXT was the best year at that point, with Bobby Roode and what he can do. And that's why Paul Heyman's a fan. He's put him in this position because he knows he's good. Bobby Roode is a great tag team wrestler. We saw it with Beer Money Inc. as well, didn't we?
Well, he did, yes, with the Cowboy James Storm, who didn't have a successful run in WWE.
No, but it was a good tag team, though, wasn't it? They were great. You know,
would they have been able to have them teamed up in WWE? They would have probably called them something like the Beer Buddies or something silly like that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, you couldn't have the actual Beer Belly Company. You know.
Beer Belly Company.
But I think with Roode and Ziggler, you know, as long as they've both got glittering outfit, that might work. They're kind of similar characters in that way, you know, Roode, but we've not really learned that much about Roode. We know Ziggler just wants to show off all the time. And Ziggler got the blind tag, went for the sleeper, pushed off by Strowman, and then Braun with a big boot and a slap to take Roode out as well. And I don't think Braun Strowman needs his tag team partner. But maybe Rollins is thinking, all right, I'll let you do it. I know we're wrestling later. You can take all the bumps.
Absolutely, yeah. But I don't know.
Seem to be gelling quite well. Strowman's going to Irish whip Rollins into Ziggler and then just throws him back to Strowman, who shoulder barges him down Ziggler managing to kick out.
I mean, if Rollins and Braun work on the same level, then, like I said, Ziggler and Rude probably haven't got no chance. But Ziggler, he's former world heavyweight champion. Let's not forget about that. He's been there, done that. Him and Rude are the veterans in this match.
Should Strowman have had a title run by now?
I think so, yeah. I think they dropped the ball with him last year with Lesnar in Saudi Arabia.
They should have done the Big Show way of coming in, having him as an unstoppable force. Now it seems like, meh, he can be beaten.
It's even like tonight, it's like Braun's get an opportunity, but it's like, meh. And Rude now distracting the ref.
Oh, DDT on the outside, spiking Seth Rollins' head into them wafer-thin mats.
Let's not forget about the history between Ziggler and Rollins as well, feuding over the Intercontinental title, and a couple of great matches they had, main event and the pay-per-view as well.
Well, to me, so far, it seems like, they both care about being tag team champion as well, Rollins and Strowman. So that's a good thing in my eyes. They don't see it as, well, I'm not going to exert too much energy because I've got a match later on tonight for the Universal Championship, but if it was probably the WWE Championship, then it'd be like, meh, fuck it.
But the thing is that like I said, there's wrestlers in the past who have come down without the tag team titles because it's like, well, what's the point?
Yeah.
But it seems Rude now has got one in on Rollins. And Rollins and Strowman have had multiple partners as well, actually, thinking about it.
Yes, they have indeed, yes. Well, I think Rollins has been with both members of the Shield. Strowman, he notably won the tag team titles with Nicholas, who's not been since.
No, not been around. And of course with the Wyatts as well when he first came in. So he knows what it's like to be a part of a group and a team.
Indeed, yes. And he was part of the Rosebuds as well.
Well, Ziggler was part of the Spirit Squad. I mean, if we're going to talk about great tag teams, great moments in WWE history. But Ziggler, though, bouncing off the ropes.
Seth's like, I was part of the Shield. Ziggler's like, well, I was part of the Spirit Squad.
Exactly.
Come on. I was male cheer fucking leaders.
And Bobby Roode played a policeman once in WWE, so I mean, we got
a member of the Rosebuds, a former policeman, a member of the Spirit Squad, and a member of the Shield.
Yeah, Rollins saying, yeah, I'm winning this. And Rude now, I tell you what, Rude, I've not seen him in a little while because I don't watch main event, but he seems quite quick right now, and in particular working quite well as a tag team, so credit to that. Bobby Roode looks in great shape as he always does.
So do you think there is too much WWE television at the moment?
Yes. I mean, when you consider there's Raw's 3 hours, SmackDown 2 hours.
5.
You've got 205 Live is an hour, NXT UK, main event which is an hour, which is the highlight show. So how many hours is that?
9 hours.
So that's in a week.
That's without a 4-hour pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So you take an hour of that each week. So that's 10 hours a week. 40 hours a month.
It's to me, I love wrestling.
480 hours a year.
But sometimes you need a little break, and that's why people pick and choose. But Rollins now managing to avoid Ziggler and Rude, hit the blockbuster, now looking for the tag for Strowman, but Rude tags in Ziggler.
Rollins catches Dolph, who hits a lovely backslide into a sunset flip into a cover, and now Dolph on the back of Seth with a sleeper.
Well, Ziggler has won plenty of matches with the sleeper hold in the past, and Rollins seems to be fading. But the only problem for Ziggler and Rude is that they're going to have a fresh Strowman to deal with if Rollins can get the tag.
No, Ziggler managing to drag him back to the Ziggooed corner. Now he's just winding up Strowman. I don't think that's a good idea because when he finally gets these hands, he's going to regret it.
And Ziggler went for the DDT.
But Rollins manages to hit a Falcon Arrow.
Anybody just tuning in who's not watched WWE for a couple of years will think that Braun Strowman is Roman Reigns eating Dean Ambrose, but he's got the tag now.
Runs straight through Ziggler, goes after Rude, splashes him in the corner, Irish whip. Incoming Strowman hits Ziggler.
And Strowman can move for a big man, and now saying that Ziggler is in cool.
Goodbye Rude. Carries the momentum into Ziggler. Takes them both out.
I would love to see Strowman doing that like a domino effect with
hitting one who hits another.
Yeah, 20 wrestlers.
Yeah.
Oh look, moves the ring with his power.
If it was running power slam, no. Ziggler with the eye rake. Rude with the blind tag.
Oh.
Ziggler sidesteps Strowman coming in, who's probably dented that ring post. Gets hit by a super kick.
Glorious.
Glorious.
Oh.
No. The glorious DDT attempt, but he gets thrown across the ring. Seth Rollins springboard knee in. Takes out Rude. Super kick.
Oh my God, I think Rude lost his front tooth then.
Is Seth going to burn it down? Kick to the gut. Ziggler sweeping the legs. Distracting Rollins. into a glorious... No. Seth turns it around. Swing blade.
But to be credit for Rude, he's toe-to-toe with the Universal Champion at the moment. And Rollins just took out Ziggler. Might not be for much longer.
Looking for the springboard stomp. Ziggler moves it, and the 5th best spine buster in the business.
He's going to get it! Oh!
No, just a 2 count.
2. And the crowd going mental.
Yes, they're in a stunned silence.
That woman nearly dropped her hamburger. And now Rude is going to go for it.
Ooh. Glorious. I think we was the only people that said it.
Oh, and Strowman went for
Hang
Rude.
on a minute. Yeah, Strowman knocked Rude into Rollins, who steps into a glorious DDT.
Go on! 1, 2, 3. And Bobby Roode has pinned the Universal Champion, which should make him Universal Champion, but it definitely makes him Tag Team Champion. I love Bobby Roode.
I love your logic. It's just completely fucking out there. Well, nonetheless, Zigood are the new Raw Tag Team Champions. Strowman looks pissed off. I think Seth's going to be pissed off when he realises what's happened.
Zigood. That was a good match as well. Quite entertaining. I think the right team won. And let's just see a replay of actually what happened. Strowman pushing Rude into Rollins. It was obviously accidental, but it gave Rude a chance to, like I said, hit Rollins with a glorious DDT to become Raw Tag Team Champion. I can't believe I'm saying it. It means after as well, prediction-wise, both get another point. We are 3 for 3 at this moment in time. And Rollins and Strowman just looking at each other. But Zigood walk away with the gold.
Zigood with the gold.
The gold.
Wow, Rollins has already been pinned once tonight. Will he be pinned twice and lose all his marbles? So Seki is more successful than drawn?
Well, it's not been a great start for Seth Rollins, but he's hoping that it doesn't end as badly. A former tag team champion now. Of course, these two men will fight later on.
Loud.
Bobby Roode. Well, Strowman getting interviewed and saying he didn't lose the tag team titles. Seth did.
Thanks to Strowman.
I didn't lose, but it was thanks to me.
My brother.
And Becky Lynch is ready for action here tonight as well.
What does she have to say, James?
She said, I'm going to kick Sasha Banks' ass because I'm the man, or I may not be able to say that.
I'm going to find you and I'm going to hurt you.
I've got a certain set of skills.
Potato.
Now, if you just lose to me, I won't do anything. Oh my God. Charlotte, North Carolina. What a wonderful place to be.
Would you like to be in Charlotte?
Well, speaking of Charlotte, she's in action next in the SmackDown Women's Championship versus Bayley. And this has been a very interesting build-up, Dan. What have your thoughts on it?
Yes, you know, we've seen Sasha Banks returning, kind of throwing us out title picture. And she's kind of turned Bayley to the dark side.
It's been weird that we've seen that. Does Bayley's a heel work for you? We talked about Balor a little bit earlier. I think Bayley would be the same.
I think so, yes. I wonder how Izzy's feeling about this because she is Bayley's #1 hugger fan.
Yeah, I mean, she must be just horrified by what's going on. But does that mean Sasha Banks has got control over Bayley that maybe other women haven't, or no one else?
Well, they have been best friends, and do you think it's something in the water that all 4 women from the 4 horsewomen of NXT or the main event now are in title matches?
I just think it shows their class, and I just think it shows just how good they are. But the thing with this is that both women now have got to prove, you know, Becky Lynch is kind of coming out stand-up, and Charlotte's kind of being left behind. But she again could make like a 10-time champion here tonight.
I wouldn't say Charlotte's being left behind. I mean, she's always in or about the title picture.
Well, she beat Trish Stratus at SummerSlam, didn't she? So that's a huge victory. But in this one, I am backing Bayley in this match.
I have gone for Bayley.
Bayley. And what are your reasonings for Bayley in this match?
I think she needs a legitimate victory over someone with the name factor of Charlotte Flair, basically. You know, she's had a good little run, and I don't think it's over yet, especially with Sasha Banks and the return of her. It's awoken something in Bayley. But
she's still coming out. I mean, it's weird to see her tune and the fans booing. But she did slap a few kids' hands at ringside.
Hugging like a champ and going against Charlotte, who I'm presuming is a face now.
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte switches nearly as many times as the Big Show, doesn't she? You know, it's kind of like, We don't know what Charlotte we're going to get.
But Bayley, you know, she's still out here smiling and hugging and with her Macho Man style. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a bit weird, isn't it? It's a bit weird what they're doing, but let's hope this is a competitive match. These two women, of course, have faced before and know each other very well, and because this cement Bayley as a proper heel, she can get victory over Charlotte. And Charlotte, I mean...
She's definitely has some more work done.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say that, but...
She's had some lip fillers and some chest fillers.
Well, her face is definitely changing. I wouldn't be surprised if she's working...
Has she lost her mole as well?
Working on the nose as well.
I don't know, it needs some work.
Well, let's not forget, Dan, Bayley cashed in her Money in the Bank on Charlotte. So, I mean, that's got to be a huge kind of revelation there. Charlotte just came out the blocks, huge big boot, went for the pin on Bayley. Bayley managed to kick out. But much like we saw with the AJ Styles Cedric Alexander match, it was Charlotte who nearly had Bayley beat in seconds. They're not slowing down the start of these matches. Quite good.
Absolutely not. No, they're coming straight out the blocks. But Bayley luring Charlotte into the ring, trying to attack, but Charlotte just too strong. A punch followed by a few Ric Flair-like knife-edge chops.
And Bayley grabbing a hair of Charlotte.
Wrenching her down to the mat.
That's something we probably wouldn't have seen from Bayley before, but now times are changing. As Charlotte fighting back with fire.
Lovely suplex and a nip up from Flair.
And now Charlotte, huge forearm. They're going in for the cover. Bayley gets shoulder up at 2.
2. So does Flair deserve to be in the title hunt again? I mean, you know, we've got Ember Moon, we've got Asuka, we've got Kairi Sane. There's 3 there just off the bat that definitely deserve a championship match.
I think the problem is soon, at the moment, WWE don't really mind, but there'll become a time where fans, if it keeps being these 4 horsewomen all the time, fans will get sick of it, much like they did with the John Cena or when the Roman Reigns. If it's just a different combination, you will think, you know, I don't think there's really any need for Bayley to be going against Charlotte tonight. But then again, like I said, with Charlotte, she's always seemed to have pay-per-view matches. She's always put in a prominent position, even when she's not champion as well. So there's no doubt who WWE think is the true star of the women's division. Are they right, though? Has Charlotte backed up her claims recently?
She does deliver good matches. But I think there's other more talented women out there. You know, Sasha Banks, I think she's a lot more. Ember Moon, again, Asuka, Kairi Sane, they're all very, very talented women. Bliss, Cross, you know, they can pull out a good match, and they are, you know, they're all legitimate challengers.
Without doubt, you know, and this is the thing.
Even the Iconics as well.
The Iconics. It'll take a little bit of break since losing the women's tag team titles, and of course they'll be defended later tonight. Bayley trying to get her feet up to stop the offense coming in. Charlotte with a forearm, and then putting that leg on that second rope, coming down with all of her weight. And now the leg's in trouble. Charlotte is going to go figure 4. No, Bayley rolls her up.
Oh, very close. Charlotte managing to kick out. But it was a huge big boot.
Well, the second big boot of the match, and Charlotte is looking to try and put away Bayley. And Charlotte now back of Bayley's head. Referee telling Charlotte to calm down. And Bayley, what's she doing to that bottom turnbuckle? Looked like she's taking it, exposing it even.
Well, she is, as the referee was distracted by Charlotte, and then Bayley sends Charlotte headfirst into it. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God! And Bayley upset the odds. And how quick was that match? Bayley
very quick.
Was smash and grab.
Not as quick as Bayley's running out of here with a title, though.
Well, Bayley runs out and gone. Oh, I can't believe that. Dan, what are your thoughts on that match?
Caught me quite by surprise, the ending. This is definitely going to put Charlotte instead for yet another title match then, wouldn't it, really?
Well, underhanded tactics, probably another rematch. I mean, the action was solid, but there just wasn't enough of it. And Bayley there showing her real heel tendencies. And I can't remember the last time someone getting hit head first into the turnbuckle actually got the job done. But Bayley is still your women's champion. And Charlotte will have a point to prove. Does mean both get another point. And it's for all as we head into our 5th match. Only the New Day can make Skittles commercials seem entertaining. Don't get me wrong, I like Skittles, I like the New Day, but I don't want to see adverts. Recapping it, Kevin Owens got fired, but here come maybe the best tag team in WWE today. It's a Revival, Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson. They're going to go against the New Day for the SmackDown tag team titles.
Would you say a revived Revival?
I think they've been featured a lot more recently, but can we go and see the Revival as they were in NXT, and that would be a team to beat. You know, we had all this kind of talk about contracts and, free the revival, all this kind of stuff. Can WWE actually give them a chance? And they can deliver. And I think against a New Day, I think there's a great possibility that this should be a really good match, as long as it's more than 5 minutes.
Absolutely, yes. I don't want another quick match. We've seen it. That was fun. I want to see a good match because we know the New Day can definitely deliver. We know the Revival can definitely deliver. So hopefully it should be a very good match between the two.
Are you happy the Revival been teaming up with Randy Orton recently as well?
Well, it's just elevating the Revival's status, really, isn't it?
Well, I think it is a little bit. I think it's good.
And it does play well. We've got the Revival going against the New Day. We've got Orton versus Kofi later on in the evening. So, yeah, why not?
So, prediction-wise, Dan, who have you gone for in this match?
It's a New Day. Yes, it is.
And I, too, have gone New Day. I just feel like they've only been champions, only won it again recently. And I think they're going to continue doing it. I think the Revival are a good team, but I think the New Day... I mean, Big E... Is there anybody more entertaining than Big E? Do you know what I mean? Like, he is.
Absolutely not, no. So do you think the New Day have overtaken the Usos as kind of premier tag team in WWE?
Yeah, I'll have to say that right now. But the Revival will have to show in this match they mean business. And Charles in charge, though, so I think it should be all right. So here we go. And like I said, can the Revival prove that they belong with the New Day? And, I'll talk about Big E. I'm a huge fan of Xavier Woods as well. Even the Up, Down, Down series he's on YouTube. He is, I think, a great host. And I think he's one of those guys as a wrestler. He's surprised us these past few years as well, hasn't he, I think there's certain things he can do in the ring that maybe we didn't really give him credit for. And to be fair, he's held his own in the New Day. When you talk about the success of the New Day, yeah, it's Kofi and Big E. But Woods is a huge part.
Absolutely, yeah. We saw we know what Kofi is capable of. He's a high-flying, very talented wrestler, and Big E's the powerhouse star. But Woods, he has got his own style, and he brings something to the table as well.
Right, down the Revival trying to target Woods' leg. He managed to fight out, and a Big E on the outside.
Takes down Dawson. Now Wilder and Woods go at it in the ring. Woods has kind of got the upper hand, so to speak.
And Woods is not smiling at the moment. He's not happy with what the Revival done to the New Day. It's a different side, maybe getting into the New Day's head.
Well, is this a side of the New Day that you don't really want to see?
What's interesting is just different layers, isn't it? We talk about how the New Day can continue. Everybody's talking about their split as Big E gets a tag.
Huge Uranagi down into the cover, but only a 2 count.
2. Dash Wilder needs to get to Dawson whatever opportunity. And Big E knows that. It's taking him the opposite direction. Now Big E with a clubbing blows. And he's across the apron. And Scott Dawson there taking Xavier Woods off the apron. Big E now distracted. Dash Wilder with a clothesline taking Big E off the apron. Both men crash to the floor. And now Charles been checking him. And let's not forget Big E's a former NXT champion as well. But now it's the Revival as Xavier Woods is down. Dash Wilder looking to bring him in. Scott Dawson calling the traffic. And he's going to go for the cover. This could be it. But no, Big E managing to get up. And now he finds himself in the wrong part of town as it's Dash and Dawson. And this is what they're probably best at when you look at tag teams. It's managing to cut off the rope, cut off the ring, and work on the opponent. And that's exactly what they're doing now. Dawson with a beautiful leg drop and an elbow. And he's just in the attack, and it is all the Revival. This is what they're good at, the quick tags. And there's Dawson lifting up Dash with a leg drop down on Big E. But Big E's still got fight in this match. Now it's Wilder just jumping on the back of Big E. They're just raking their face as well. I mean, everything the Revival does is just nasty. And now trying to just take the breath out of Big E. And now Big E fighting back with the right hands. But again, it's Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson. Xavier Woods is nowhere to be seen. Big E's without his partner. He's trying his best, but 2-on-1 disadvantage. And that's Scott Dawson in there. 2-time Raw Tag Team Champions. 2-time NXT Tag Team Champions. Tonight, they could make history. The back elbow taking Big E down. And Woods is out at ringside. Francesca sits on the stairs. And now it's Dawson just raking the face of Big E. And I mean, just for the past few minutes or so, it's been Revival dominating Big E. Woods is still unconscious, moved once.
Would it be a huge upset if the Revival was to beat New Day?
I'll tell you something, we'll talk about upsets. The way they're going about their business at the moment, this is a Revival we know and love. You know, when you talk about our tag teams of the year this past couple of years, this is what the Revival can do.
Well, we've seen them before, cutting off the ring, just kind of taking out one person, and this is the wise move as well, taking out the powerhouse on his own, trying to fight for the New Day, and it's going to be an easier task than taking out a fresh Big E.
Right, it's been a perfect game plan by the Revival to begin this match.
I don't want to say it, but Randy Orton, mate, giving them advice. Rated RKO was a very successful tag team.
Well, yeah, they were a successful tag team. Maybe Randy Orton has gotten it. Would it be something that you would like to see, like a group down the line of the three, or be call themselves saying? I don't know.
Team RKO.
Would that be a good association?
I think it would be, especially with the rivalry that Kofi's got with Orton, and the New Day with the Revival. It certainly would be a resurgence, and it's definitely elevating the platform of the Revival as well.
Right, down. Big E finally gets some separation from the Revival. Looked in his corner. Woods is still not up yet.
Well, he's just managed to get to ringside, but how recovered is Xavier Woods? I mean, eager for the tag, gets himself in. Going against Dawson now, who's got the tag from Wilder. And now Woods is coming in. He's on fire, baby.
He's on
taking
fire.
Out Dawson.
And a shout out to the Iron Sheik as well with the boots. You got to love Woods. And a beautiful Hurricane Runner there, just taking Dawson out. Here comes Wilder, runs into a huge big boot.
Woods rolling through, close on takedown, but that gives Dawson a chance to recover. Throws Woods to the outside, but Woods lands on his feet. A step up into Guri. Springs his way into a lovely DDT into the cover.
That's it. 2.
Oh, no. Wilder saving it for his team. Big E's back in and recovered.
Wilder holding on. We know what Big E loves to do.
Oh, Wilder had it scouted, but Big E catches him as he dives through the ropes. And now it's a 2-on-1 attack. Both members of the Revival taking out Big E, throw him into the ring post. Big E puts the brakes on. Oh. Shatter machine.
And Big E is down, maybe out. And what we've seen in the game plan of the Revival, they have not been, they've made sure it's been 2-on-1 at all times. And now again, it's two men who are up, looking at Xavier Woods in the middle of the ring. See how Wilder just throws Dawson in as well.
Come on, get onto it. Tags in Dawson. Woods trying his best to fight out, but I think the numbers is going to take over eventually. Chop block takedown, and Woods in a lot of trouble now. You can certainly see they've got a bit of the venom from the Viper.
Right, down and they're going for that injured leg of Woods. And the Viper now look to take advantage.
Having a quick glance over at Big E, who's still down and out on the outside. Definitely seems like we could see a new tag team.
Picks him up.
Boom! Shatter machine again. Dawson could have made the pin, but I think they want to punish Woods a bit more. They're exposing the injured knee of Woods.
And this is sick by the Revival. This is stuff we haven't seen in a long time.
Again, it's something that we'd see from Randy Orton.
Well, he's ripping the tights. He's trying to get to that knee. And there we go.
Inverted figure 4.
Like an Indian deathlock, and Woods is cool. Bad knee and all. He knows the tag team title's on the line. As he goes to reach for the ropes, all he can see is Dash Wilder screaming at him.
And Woods taps.
Wow. Fucking hell.
New tag team champions.
The Revival looked like killers in that one. That is the tag team from NXT. My word. What a performance that was. What a great match as well. Definitely, I love a match. I talk about tag team matches, especially when they tell a story told during that one as well. With New Day not being able to be there for each other, basically, and Revival taking advantage, showing they had it won with a shatter machine, and yet continued it with the submission as well. That's how you put someone over in a Revival. If it's down for Randy Orton, then they owe him a debt of gratitude, and maybe Orton might be successful later on tonight.
Well, maybe a bit of the Revival's rubbed off on Orton as well.
That's the best I've seen Revival in a long time.
Absolutely, yeah, brilliant match. Unfortunately, neither of us get a point from that, but I'm happy not to get a point if you don't get a point, and we see the Revival that we want to see.
Yeah, and it means the perfect score is no longer on, which is a shame.
But shush, James, the Revival have the mics. And as I said earlier, a revived Revival.
So what did the Revival have to say, Dan?
Well, they said finally the old school has beaten the hip-swiveling, trombone-playing new school. But not only that, James, you've seen a treat here, but there's going to be an even bigger treat for you later on tonight, and that is a new WWE champion in Randy Orton. And, the Revival, you can't really go against what they're saying at the moment.
You can't doubt, but I don't think this is the end for New Day.
Well, we see the 24/7 title on episode 24/7. R-Truth and Carmella are sound operators. when Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are getting interviewed. And Alexa Bliss has just painted a bullseye on the back of R-Truth. She's putting a statement out there. If you want a 24/7 title, find a referee. And here's R-Truth. The Drake Maverick there bringing up the rear.
I want a Drake Maverick 24/7 title. T-shirt. Well, our next pay-per-view will be Hell in the Cell. But up next, it will be the women's tag team title. We've just seen it now. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross going against Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. We've seen this, I say, an interesting build-up. Has there been much build-up? Not really. I mean, a couple of interactions in tag team matches. But what are your thoughts on Bliss and Cross as a tag team?
I think it's been very successful. They're both... Bliss certainly brings a legitimacy to the title, and having Crazy Cross in her corner is just even more bonus points for them, really. Yeah,
I mean, Nikki Cross, I will always be a fan of her. We're working NXT, but she's shown a kind of tenderness to her that I never thought she would have. And Nikki Cross, I think, is a fantastic performer. And I think if they play the story right with her and Bliss, it can be... We talked about the 4 horsewomen earlier. These 2 women can definitely put a stake in to be involved in the women's title scene. But Alexa Bliss is still a star, but we've not seen much of her. But what we have seen of her, you've liked, Dan, haven't you?
I absolutely love every inch of Alexa Bliss. I mean, there's not a part of Bliss I don't like. Fire and Desire going against Crazy Cross and Beautiful Bliss. It's, again, with no disrespect to Rose and Deville, but are there better challengers?
Well, I think they are. I think why we never had an Oscar in the Kairi Sane match against these 2 women, I'll never know.
Well,
but
I do enjoy the Bukkake Warriors.
Or where are the Iconics, and why can't they try and get a rematch? I mean, they're obviously trying something with Deville and Rose, but I get Mandy Rose confused so much with Liv Morgan. I'm glad when Liv Morgan finally makes a change. Prediction-wise, I have gone for, in this match, Cross Bliss.
I have gone for someone different, Bliss Cross.
Bliss Cross. So why have you gone Bliss Cross for?
Why fix what ain't broken, to be honest? It's definitely working for the women's tag team titles. I think, since Bayley and Banks, Iconics, no one else better to take up the mantle than Bliss Cross. Yeah,
and I think they'll run through. But I do like the team name of Deville and Rose, because it does remind me of a 1980s tag team, Fire and Desire.
Absolutely. Well, what could this tag team be called? Cross Bliss. We wish you a Merry Cross Bliss and a Happy New Year.
I don't know, the Crazy Beautifuls. I mean, I've no idea. Like, it's a tag team unlike anything we've seen, and Nikki Cross is going to start in, and this match might be over in seconds. We've seen a couple of quick matches today.
Well, Cross straight out of the blocks, straight into Mandy Rose.
But Rose showing her power.
So is it good that Rose and Deville are still kind of together?
I mean, yeah, I suppose. It's a shame they couldn't keep the Riot Squad together, but...
Where is Ruby anyway?
Injured. Still recovering. Bless her. And look at Nikki Cross there. Look at the moves.
Well, she's mocking Mandy Rose.
Mocking? She's rocking my world.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow. Look at that. That's more sensual than Alexa Bliss. I'm sorry, Dan, but Nikki Cross dancing like that is ready.
Well, that's your opinion.
I don't think Nikki Cross needs any help beating up these 2 women, but Bliss is there. And Deville, though, can't keep Cross down. Cross is always going to fight back. You've got to stay on top of her at all times. And speaking of women you like to stay on top of, Dan, here comes Alexa Bliss for the tag.
Absolutely, yeah. Throws Nikki Cross into Deville, who's in the corner. So, does that make Bliss Cross the faces?
I guess they are the good guys in this one. Well, they get a better reaction, don't they?
Absolutely. Oh, Mandy Rose and Bliss. I mean, I couldn't think of any 2 more women I'd like in the ring.
I don't know. Mandy just doesn't... I mean, Bliss is, I think, a lot better. I think
obviously.
More nat...
With her fake boobs.
Yeah, well, she had to do that because of anorexia.
Yeah.
And Bliss
but they're not, anything huge. They're just perfect.
All right. Bliss slapping the face of Rose. Her cheeks are red.
Oh, Bliss just dropping Rose with a few huge rights. Dropping the knees into the midsection. Backflipping into the knees again. Another cover. A Rose with a kick out.
Oh. Look at Nikki Cross cheering along.
Well, Alexa Bliss hasn't been beautiful since she had that ginger wart removed.
Oh, and R-Truth's coming out here.
Running through the ring.
And he's saying you can't get him. Bliss going to roll him out.
2. Oh, Bliss was nearly 24/7 champion during a tag team. Oh, man. Just perfection.
And now Truth with Carmelo on his back. And there's all the useful superstars like Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder.
There's Mojo. He's not even
not
useful enough for that.
Well, blind tag by DeVille. I don't think Bliss can see it.
Well, Bliss sees it now or feels it now as DeVille gets the boot up into a cover, but Bliss managing to kick out.
Oh. Gay people, so I picture.
Oh, the women ones.
Oh, rubbish it.
Get these balls. Anyway, Bliss is getting beaten down in the corner by Rose and DeVille. Nikki Cross watching on, pacing nervously up and down the ring apron there.
And Fire and Desire putting out Alexa Bliss, but winding up Nikki Cross, and you don't want to wound up Nikki Cross.
You don't want to cross crazy. A lovely delayed vertical suplex from Rose, and DeVille boot to the chin. 1, 2, no, kick out from Bliss.
Oh.
She is a goddess.
And now DeVille, Bliss not bad either. And DeVille now just taking the breath out of Bliss. And Cross getting the fans behind her.
Chris Cross.
Well, Bliss has been there and done that in the women's division.
Well, she's a triple crown as far as the women's titles go.
And speaking of Triple Crown champions, of course, the Revival have become Triple Crown tag team champions now. And Bliss looking to defend her tag team titles with Nikki Cross, who's desperate to get in.
A quick roll up on Rose, who was distracted, but only a 2.
2.
And our man is back on the offense.
I won't talk trash to Bliss, and Bliss now blocking.
Well, both women with huge right hands knocking each other out.
And now Bliss can finally get to Nikki Cross. DeVille gets a tag from Rose. Bliss now with Nikki.
Well, the group are in. And Cross is on fire, baby.
Huge clotheslines by Nikki, not once, not twice, but thrice. Sends her into the corner.
Running bulldog.
And Manly Rose, here she comes.
There she goes.
And now DeVille caught with back suplex. And Nikki Cross does not care about her opponents, just throw him on the front.
Absolutely not. Cross body off the top.
Nikki
1,
Cross body.
2,
no. That should be a finisher.
Nikki Cross body. You wouldn't want to make Nikki angry?
Right, you just want to leave it at that, you know, but Bliss getting the tag and it's nice teamwork.
Alexa's going off the top.
Taking a time low.
No, DeVille throws Cross against the ropes. Bliss gets crutched up top.
Rose takes that Cross on the apron and DeVille's got Bliss.
Throws her off the top by a hair.
And we could have new women's tag team champions.
Well, Mandy gets the tag in. We're going to see a bit of double team.
Here we go, Fire and Desire.
Well, leg sweep and a kick to the face. This could be it. 1, 2, no. Nikki in to save the titles.
And the fans didn't want that to happen there at all. They were like, no, oh my God. Nikki showing how great she is at helping Bliss.
Alexa tags in Cross.
Referee accepts it and now Nikki going up. Here she goes again.
Oh no, jumps over the top of Rose. Takes out DeVille. Dodges the incoming Mandy.
And here she comes with him. Oh, put her on the ropes.
Boom. 2, 3. And Nikki Cross wins it for their team.
I love Nikki Cross. She's awesome. She actually she helped Bliss there when it was over and actually got the victory. Dan, what are your thoughts on that match?
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, Nikki Cross. She's kind of, I think, Alexa's allowing her to be an integral part of this team as opposed to it being led by Alexa Bliss. I don't know, I'm not too keen on a subdued Nikki Cross though.
No,
a good, exciting match, and the 24/7 title nearly getting won by Alexa Bliss during the match as well. Great comical effect.
It was an enjoyable match, there was nothing wrong with it. And Nikki Cross coming out looking more and more like a star, and that's good to see. And speaking on stars, looks like the in action next, and he's going to go for the Intercontinental title against Shinzuki fucking Nakamura. Great show. Please, quiet on the set. Can we have quiet on the set? So it's the Miz coming out here now to going to go face Nakamura. After the Bliss Cross versus Fire and Desire match, we both get another point. So we're 5-all in our 6th match. Oh, well, this is our 7th match now. As we run through the announcers and the Miz coming out here.
So the Intercontinental title, the Miz is kind of known for being a great Intercontinental champion. And when Nakamura had recently won it from Finn Balor and teamed up with Sami Zayn, we've seen a little bit different from, of course, Nakamura. But what will happen here tonight? Dan, who have you gone for in this match?
Well, James, I have gone for the Miz, and I'll give you my reasoning after you have
Giving me your prediction.
I have gone for Shinzuki fucking Nakamura.
Well, my reasoning behind this is the Miz is an 8-time Intercontinental Champion. Chris Jericho is a 9-time Intercontinental Champion, and Chris Jericho is also the current AEW Champion WWE's biggest rivals thus far. So in order to remove Jericho's name or kind of overwrite his name in the history books, The Miz is going to become a 9-time Intercontinental Champion.
I completely agree with you. I cannot believe I just said that. I do completely agree with you. But I don't think it's going to happen here tonight because The Miz has got a history of winning matches in important events. He won the IC title on the Raw 1000th, SmackDown 900th, and Raw 25. We're coming up to the 20th anniversary of SmackDown in a couple of weeks' time. I think that's when The Miz is going to win it. But I hope I'm right, because I didn't think Sami Zayn would be here, but race, thanks to getting or telling the Undertaker to sod off, and then unfortunately receiving a choke slam.
Oh yes, we see Sami Zayn thinking he'd got rid of the Undertaker. That wasn't to be. The Undertaker choke slamming Sami Zayn. Nakamura with a cape.
Love it. I absolutely love that cape. I mean, Nakamura, we need to see the Nakamura that we saw in NXT when he first moved up to the main roster.
Having Sami Zayn in his corner, is that going to help? I mean, you know, he's kind of was known for being with Owens, who's now kind of like a face going against the Authority. So Sami Zayn doesn't quite fit into that picture. So having him with, or as the mouthpiece for Nakamura, could that do both men good?
I think it definitely can. I think because what we've seen is that Nakamura, the thing that's kind of stopped a little bit has been his promos. And I think with Sami Zayn, we love Sami Zayn in NXT, but they're not going to use him the same. So why not have him as a mouthpiece? I think Sami Zayn is great promo. I think he's really underrated.
Face or heel promos is he better at?
I think it's better heels with here with it. I think the kind of Sami Zayn that we got, I think he's built up a bit of resentment and he's using that, and I think it's working for him. And Nakamura is such a cool dude. He doesn't need a lot, you know, and he can stay aloof while Sami Zayn does his talking from him. But I do love the A-list of The Miz, though. So if The Miz walks out as champion, yeah, I'll be upset I lost, but still.
Well, what's going to happen with Sami Zayn in his corner, though? Is that neck brace just a ruse? Because we know you can't trust Sami.
No, I think that's going to be really important. It's not what Sami Zayn gets up to.
And talking of being the mouthpiece for Nakamura, he's actually on the mic during the match.
Or Zayn having to go at the arm drag of The Miz, then having to go at the local sports team. Nakamura fighting back. Sami Zayn saying, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Well, mocking The Miz. Could this be a distraction for The Miz, though? Having Sami Zayn chirping away in his ear?
I can't believe they're allowing it, but I like it. King of Soft style.
He's a cunt.
It's the weirdest thing I've seen.
They haven't even got the commentators talking as much because Sami Zayn's doing it. I think his mic's been cut off.
Oh, Sami's not happy about that, and now Miz going to show his aggression.
Comes back with a few Ric Flair-like knife-edge chops. And a knee to the midsection. Follows up with a running boot. Just a 1 count.
1. And now Miz with the chops. And I do you know, say, the Miz was kind of riding a wave somewhat, you know, after the Shane McMahon, at the start of it with the tag team titles. And ever since WrestleMania, since he lost, it's kind of been downhill, hasn't it?
Well, it weren't really with the titles, it was with the Best in the World trophy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, as tag team champion, so the month before. Losing that, and then losing at WrestleMania, losing in a cage match, just becoming cannon fodder. And he's got the microphone from Sami Zayn, he's just thrown it down this entranceway.
Now, the Miz is standing tall over Nakamura for now.
Miz wouldn't hit a man in the neck brace, surely.
Don't call me Shirley, but I'm still not convinced that it's a genuine neck injury that Sami Zayn has got. I think it's all a ruse. Him and Nakamura are definitely in cahoots.
You want to say that they're in cahoots, and they're working as a well-oiled team at the moment. And Nakamura is dangerous just one-on-one. The Miz can't look past him, and that's what helps.
Oh, Nakamura with a knee to the back of the head, just punishing the Miz.
And now Miz is in position, and Nakamura's going to go with the kicks.
What, the it kicks?
You're going to take him from Miz? That's a bit of a slap in the face.
Well, no, it's a kick in the chest for the Miz. Well, the Miz wise to it, catches it, but doesn't catch the step up in Seguri.
Well, if the left won't hit you, the left don't catch you, the right one will.
Well, he catches the right one this time. Kick to the back of the knee of Nakamura and just drakes him over the rope, hangs him out to dry. Now Shinsuke fucking Nakamura's in a lot of trouble now. Very innovative by the Miz.
The Miz wants to turn his year around, and he can do that by beating Nakamura as he backs him up in a corner.
So what else can you see happening for the Miz this year then?
I think he will be Intercontinental Champion. And then I think he'll probably feud with Nakamura for a little bit, and then Who's United States champion at the moment? Miz versus AJ at Survivor Series, maybe?
Possibly, yeah. Can you see the Miz ever having a top run?
I would have said yes at the start of the year, but since then, WWE, I'm not sure if they see him as that or just a guy who can be in the mid card who gets reaction. You know, I'm surprised how well he's worked as a face. You know, when we know how much the Miz is unlikable, but obviously since the Shane McMahon feud, that's kind of gone by the wayside as well.
Absolutely, yeah. What about the Miz then? What about Nakamura?
I mean, Nakamura's in the right place at the moment as long as he retains, and that's why I hope he does. But I still think afterwards there's a question where is he going to be happy as a mid-carder or is he going to look to try and be main event? Is there a chance for him and Sami Zayn? I think there is, you know.
Well, Nakamura looking for the cross arm breaker. Miz rolling him up for a pin.
Hitting that DDT. One arm for a cover. Two. No, Nakamura managing to kick out. I don't know. I'd like to see Nakamura hanging with the top guys. He definitely has the ability to do it. But whether WWE see that in him is a completely different matter.
Well, the Miz now definitely feeling the arm, like Nakamura's attacked. But Miz has tried to work the leg of Nakamura as well. Maybe take away the Kinshasa.
But I would like to see the Miz mixing with Daniel Bryan again.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be.
Especially as now the Miz is kind of like a face, Bryan's a heel. It would work still.
A Miz with the Miz kicks, but Nakamura managed to dodge one. Nearly rolled up the Miz for good, but he managed to kick out.
Looking for a skull-crushing finale, but but Nakamura getting out of that. Got Miz prone in the corner. He gets his feet up. Nakamura blocks it, puts his legs through the ropes. A snap German through the ropes there. Very impressive from Nakamura.
And Sami Zayn absolutely loving it at ringside. That was nice by Nakamura. Nakamura works with confidence though. We've seen it before.
I'm glad he's not looking like an Asian Kane anymore, like with his outfit. But I do miss the flair he had coming to the ring.
Oh, now Nakamura looking to end it.
What's he gonna do, James?
Is he looking for it? Kinshasa!
No, the Miz sidestepping it, sending Nakamura into the second turnbuckle. And again, working over that left leg. Looking for the figure four. The move was taught to him by the man, not Becky Lynch, but Ric Flair.
And we know that if the move we're in Carolina right now, where Ric Flair used the move, so it means the moves have more effect to it as well.
Absolutely, yes, just like a sharpshooter in Canada.
Yeah. So Nakamura feeling twice as much pain. Sami Zayn can't help at the moment.
Well, the Miz managing to get to the bottom rope, forcing a break. Sami Zayn happy with that.
Well, Nakamura was fingertips away there from tapping back in the centre of the ring.
Nakamura with a roll up though. 1, 2, no, kick out. Miz straight back on the offense over a few kicks to the chest and face. Oh, Sami Zayn with a distraction though.
Oh, it went for the neck brace. And here comes Nakamura.
Kinshasa to the back of the head.
Miz is down. Nakamura with a cover. 1, 2.
No. The Miz managing to kick out.
That was Nakamura's best chance, wasn't it?
Yes, it is all over for Nakamura now.
Come on, Nakamura.
Well, Shinsuke trying to shake some life into his leg.
Bad leg and all.
Kinshasa. Sidestepped. Skull crushing finale. Come on, Miz. Cover that man. Oh, yes. For fuck's sake.
Yes. Sami Zayn on the apron trying to get in.
Causing a distraction.
Ref distracted. Miz can't believe it. And that's what a manager's all about.
Nakamura rolling to the outside in Sanctuary. Miz is pissed off. Don't get distracted, Miz. Michael, stay in the ring. No.
Uh-oh.
He's chasing Sami Zayn round the ring into a hidden Nakamura. Kick to the face.
And now Nakamura throws Miz in. Kinshasa goes for the cover. 1, 2,
kick out.
3. Oh. And Shinsuke fucking Nakamura is still your Intercontinental Champion. Wow. I mean, match-wise, it wasn't... I don't know. Sami Zayn kind of took away a little bit from that.
I think, well, I don't know. Can you say he took away or can you say he added something? Because him and Nakamura definitely worked together.
Yeah. They definitely gel, and that is really surprising to see. Did the right man win? I think Nakamura needed this victory to build upon. But like I said, I think The Miz will win it back in a matter of weeks. But, I mean, it's an interesting matchup that we've seen here. And I have to do it, but it means prediction-wise, I go point head. 6-5. And that's it. That's all I'm going to say. Nakamura is still your Intercontinental Champion. But up next, we're going to get real serious because it's the Raw Women's title on the line, and it's former friends Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch. So what have you thought of the build-up to this match, Dan?
Well, you know, Sasha Banks, she's been MIA for a good 5 months now after spitting her dummy out after WrestleMania. Me included. I didn't think she was coming back. I thought, you know, she was going to wait out her contract and we'd see her appearing for AEW or something else like that. I definitely missed her from pay-per-views and the roster. The storyline, you know, Sasha Banks come back, made a statement, changed the colour of her hair, nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Banks' statement, and if she hits that tonight, it will be over. I've been a Sasha Banks fan since I think we have started this podcast, and it's great to see her sign a new contract and being serious. And that's why tonight I have gone for Sasha Banks. There you go, Banks.
Yeah, I too have gone for Sasha Banks as well. I think, you know, this is kind of going to be WWE's way of rewarding her for a new bumper contract. Becky Lynch certainly doesn't need it, and I think she's better when she's kind of going for the title as opposed to carrying it and defending it.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I mean, there's no has had a fantastic 2019, and even if her title run ends right now, she's kind of changed the business. Is the man, Becky Lynch, as interesting now as she was at the start of the year?
Absolutely not, no. I think lack of Rousey's kind of taken it away because, you know, a majority of the roster, they don't stand the imposition that Nia Jax even, and Ronda Rousey kind of imposed on her. You know, there's not anyone that you'd think, yeah, they would be able to dominate Becky Lynch in any other circumstance. But, you know, it's good to see her as the underdog in a match.
Yeah.
But with everyone else on the roster, it's like, well, you know, Becky Lynch could beat them.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But it's interesting to see these two women compete because, you know, they have clashed before, but maybe not as well known as kind of the other women's matches between the two. So it'd be interesting to see their kind of their chemistry here as well. Unlike maybe Charlotte versus Bayley, this is a match that I'm really looking forward to see because, like I said, Banks back after that amount of time, and the man standing in the other corner. So it's all meant to be about. They both want to be the best, and we're going to find out right now.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's two completely different characters since we saw from earlier this year.
Yeah. And Lynch now in the corner, just looking forward at Banks, taking it nice and cool.
Do you think the Banks break has done her well?
Well, she might have a little bit of ring rust. That's probably got shaken off there by a slap by Becky.
Yeah, kick to the midsection and just bouncing her head off the mat repeatedly. Becky Lynch certainly means business.
Well, both of these women would be an understatement to say they both got an aggressive nature about them. Sasha Banks wrestles like a man and Lynch is the man. So that's what we're going to see.
I've got the feeling this could be a very good match, given the time.
Without a doubt. We've seen some matches go maybe shorter than normal. As Lynch hit a forearm, dodges Banks there.
Banks trying to get Becky down to the mat. Lynch rolling through. He's got a mount on, looking for the disarmer. Sasha's definitely wise to that.
But the thing is about Sasha Banks, wherever she goes, gold normally follows as well. The last time we saw her was losing the women's tag team titles that she won alongside Bayley. Of course, former Raw, SmackDown Women's Champion, and NXT as well. Banks has kind of done it all, and she's going to take her time doing it as well.
Baseball slide to the back of Banks, who was kind of goading the fans.
And now Lynch going in the attack of Banks, just chasing her down on the stairs now.
Takes down Banks.
Huge forearm shot to the face, just throwing Sasha back in.
Sidesteps Sasha, who was looking to shoulder barge Becky Lynch. Kicks her in the chops and now goes up top. Sasha dragging the leg down and just a couple of kicks to the chest. And now stomping the mud out and walking it dry. Or choking it dry now.
Banks doesn't look like she's missed a beat. She's just waiting for Lynch to bring the attack. We talk about Nakamura, we talk about Revive, we talk about a lot of the wrestlers with the confidence about them. And someone like Sasha Banks with the confidence running through her veins is almost unstoppable as we saw it. You know, the boss character, as it were.
Well, you're saying about the confidence of the Revival. They won their match. The confidence of Nakamura, he won his match. Confidence of Banks.
I'm hoping she wins this match. There's a huge knee to Lynch's face. And the fans chanting either for Banks or Lynch. Gives it this big fight feel. They're all invested into this as well. We talk about women's matches being on. Everybody's watching this, you know. This is not a filler.
Absolutely, yeah. I do like a 50-50 chant as well. You don't get it as much that often now.
And it just shows the love for both of these women as Lynch getting stretched. Probably. Oh my God, Sasha Banks, double knees, taking out Lynch. No, somehow managing to kick out.
So this is, in effect, kind of like a submission match. We've got a bank statement going against the disarmer.
What is the more dangerous submission?
I don't know. I do like the way that Banks applies the bank statement.
I think there's more ways to get out of the disarmer. I think that'd be fair to say. But if anybody knows how to get out of a bank statement, it would be Becky Lynch, who's watched her friend closely throughout the years. And that was Banks being beautiful there, managing to turn around Lynch.
Into a cover, but a kick out.
So
we've already seen animosity between the 4 horsewomen of the WWE. Do you think there is ever going to be able to be a coming together of them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, without doubt. It's money, isn't it? It's money being printed right now. And now Banks got Lynch. Maybe look for a suplex, but Lynch landed on her feet.
Or will we see Bayley assisting her friend into becoming a champion, seeing as though she successfully defended hers, or is she still running?
Well, this is the thing. I think she just jumped to the car, left the arena. I think closely followed by our Truth.
Perhaps they might have shared one.
But Banks now has got Lynch and just manipulated him on that top rope, putting the arm back and letting the legs do. Banks is in complete control now. Comes off the second, but Lynch had it scouted. And a beautiful dropkick right to Banks' midsection. You would say it's the first proper time that Lynch has hurt Banks in this match. And it gives her a chance to get back into this one, catch her breath.
Or to at least recover.
And now both women are down. Referee got to 7, but both women to their knees. Now just striking each other.
Lynch with a huge clothesline takedown, followed closely by another. Becky's getting back into this with some right hands, spinning kick to the midsection.
And the Beck exploder there. Now Lynch looking to get the crowd behind her.
Becky with the knees to the head and the midsection. Burning up a head of steam. Oh, but Banks catching her. Bank statement.
And right in the middle of the ring, can Lynch manoeuvre herself? And that was nice by Lynch, managing to get to her knee, using the hand there to block the statement.
Another Beck exploder.
Now Lynch on the second rope. Going to go for the attack on Banks.
Leg drop off the second. 2. Nah, just a 2 count.
2. And Lynch can't believe how close she came there for beating Banks. But I think it's going to take a lot more. And you can see Lynch thinking about what to do next.
The cogs are whirring.
Now Lynch putting Banks up on that top turnbuckle. But Banks fighting back on top.
Oh, Banks with a double knees from the second into the cover, but Lynch managing to kick out. Sasha's getting a bit frustrated now.
Well, that was a fantastic move by Banks off the top. Comes down all the body weight. Looked like it crushed Lynch, but again, Lynch still in this. And now you can see the mask change of Banks. She was frustrated a minute ago. Now you can see the kind of cool, calm collectiveness of this new Sasha Banks. And here she comes running in again with the double knees.
A knee to the side of the head. Banks posing, and I think she's calling a shot too early, saying about the belt. She jumps over the top rope. Lovely transition. Look at the Banks statement again, but Lynch rolling through into the disarmer. But Banks counters that into a cover. But Lynch counters it into the disarmer again.
And now Lynch has got it in. She's got it in deep, and Banks might be in serious trouble.
Sasha getting her foot to the bottom rope, though. Lynch using all of the 5 count before she releases it. But has the damage been done already?
Well, Banks had hold of the rope and was tapping out at that same time. But here comes Lynch again with a drop kick. Now Lynch going to go up. Here he comes off. Here she comes off the top. And a big drop kick to the face cover. But no, Banks managing to kick out.
Was Becky Lynch unsure what to do with this new Banks?
Oh, she tried to disarm her. It didn't work. And Banks looks like she won't be beat here tonight.
So it's been quite even between these two women thus far. Both women have had a bit of offence. Both women seem to be getting frustrated with the other as well.
Well, this is the thing. They know each other so well. Therein lies the problem.
You can't get more pure and simple than kicks to the midsection. But that's not going to keep Banks down for long.
And now going for the kick, but Banks catching it.
Backstabber.
And this might be it again. Another backstabber.
Hits the second. Rolls through into the Bank statement. Locked on in the middle of the ring. Becky is in a lot of trouble now.
She's trying to get to the ropes.
And the fans have decided half of them want to see Becky tap, half of them want to see her escape.
And again, got it in and rolling her up low into the ropes, and Banks managing to break it. And now just grabs hold of the arm of Lynch and drapes it across that bottom rope.
What's Sasha thinking now? Well, if she uses that, she will get disqualified. She's grabbed the chair. She just hit.
Well, Banks bringing the chair in, but distracting the ref.
Oh, and he didn't see that one. Shot to the jaw. Running knee. 1, 2. Oh, no. Lynch managing to kick out.
Well, Banks couldn't believe it. Lynch got the shoulder up. Now Lynch is shocked. Banks is shocked. She used the chair behind the referee's back. Couldn't get the job done. Well, maybe Sasha Banks is realising she can't beat Becky Lynch here tonight. And Banks go back outside getting the chair. Going to try and use it again.
Referee grabs it off of Banks, saying, look, come on, you ain't going to win a title like that. Becky Lynch has the chair. Hits the ref.
Well, Banks can't believe it, but now Lynch has got the smoking gun in her hand.
Ref's down. Shot to the midsection. Cracks over her back.
And now it's a bit of payback of what Sasha Banks has been doing to Becky Lynch.
Banks rolling outside to Sanctuary, but that's not going to be far enough. Lynch will follow her. But a kick to the midsection, and Banks is running into the crowd.
Closely followed by Becky.
Now both women going into the universe. And Lynch looking to kick Sasha Banks off every step.
And all these fans more interested in getting a good fight over the two than fucking actually watching the fight going on.
The little girl's just like, oh my god, I can't believe Becky Lynch there. She wearing the man top.
And now it's Lynch just beating down on Banks. Send her into the stairs. And now Lynch has got Banks' arm through the barricade.
Oh, Sasha's tapping, but it won't count as she grabs hold of Lynch's hair and kicks her leg out.
And now Banks was trying to scurry away. But Lynch is still chasing her down. And these two women just fighting through the crowd. And out now maybe to the concession stand.
Referee still down.
Referee zooms out of it with a chair shot.
Lynch chasing Banks through the concessions, and a few fans that thought they'd use this opportune moment to get some food. I think they're getting treated to a match as well.
And Lynch just threw mustard at Sasha Banks.
Not mustard. Ketchup would have been fine, maybe even brown sauce. But James, mustard burns.
Well, that is terrible. Lynch, she's proven that she is the mustard.
And to beat the mustard, you got to be the mustard.
And now Lynch bringing fans. And these two women just fighting. Banks managed to get some offence in. Well, the fans are chanting for Becky. Firmly behind her, all the section that she's in.
I'd lick that mustard off Sasha Banks' back, to be fair.
And now the last kicker bringing Banks to ringside. Bouncing her off bins and barricades. And bringing her down to ringside.
Oh, but Banks spearing Lynch into the barricade. Both women seem a bit worse for wear at the moment. But it's Banks with the upper hand currently.
Well, Lynch sent into the apron. The referee's still out. But now it's Banks in control after throwing Lynch into barricade. So Mark Cole telling us there's been a disqualification even though the referee's still out. Becky Lynch been disqualified, but Banks now has the chair.
But Lynch managing to defend it. A kick to the midsection.
And a wicked chair shot to the back.
A trifecta of chair shots.
Well, for all the best for Sasha Banks. Lynch just attacking Banks with the chair.
So Lynch has been disqualified, so that means us going for Banks get the victory.
Yeah, we get the point, but I don't think Sasha Banks is going to get this one out alive.
Well, she may have won the battle, but she's going to lose the war.
And with the chair set up, Lynch sits on it and puts a disarmer in. And Banks' arm is breaking now. And now finally we're getting more officials out here, referees, trainers, EMTs down.
Trying to pull Becky Lynch off. Finally, she relinquishes the hold.
Well, the fans just want them to fight forever. But I think Lynch has made a statement herself. She wants the title. And Lynch is champion. Like I said, Banks won the match. But might have just lost the war. It means another point for us. So it's 7-6 as we head into the next one. But we talk about this match. Dan, what are your thoughts on this match?
It was a very good match. Both women certainly brought it tonight. And it's one of them ones that leaves it open. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, the feud will continue. And I think it will be fitting inside Hell in a Cell for these two women. Absolutely brought it here tonight. But we still got a lot more. And up next to the match you're looking forward to, Dan, is your man Randy Orton going against Kofi Kingston. And this has been a build-up that's kind of stagnated recently, I'm not going to lie. The storyline was good about Randy Orton holding Kofi Kingston down for 10 years. And the team-up revivals are right. But we've just seen kind of the same thing now on SmackDown recently with Kofi, you know, trying to get one over on Randy Orton.
Well, he did when I was back at the...
At Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square, he kind of recreated the move that he'd done, the boom drop onto the table off the stands like 9-10 years ago. There's a good bit of history coming into it. And we see flashes to Kofi Kingston doing both their moves. And that is good, like how things have come full circle around for these two guys.
And now Randy Orton wants to crush the dream of Kofi Kingston. Ever since Kofi Mania, Kofi Mania's been running wild, and Randy Orton, your man, wants to end it here tonight. Prediction-wise, Dan, who have you gone for in this match? And this is your chance maybe to get back into it, because I know he's your man.
Well, James, when have you ever known me not to go for my man?
I can remember never.
Exactly. So for that reason, I've gone for Kofi.
I too have gone Kofi Kingston in this matchup. Why Kofi then? Why over your man? Over the
I just think it's logical. You know, for a while I've been saying that he needs to beat a legitimate performer in WWE, and you don't get more legitimate than Randy Orton, someone who's been there for 17 years now.
Yeah, but I don't think the feud has the legs to go to Hell in a Cell, which I thought originally it did. And I think tonight it should be over and done with Kofi, getting a victory. But will the Revival play a part in this? They talked up Randy Orton earlier. They've taken out Big E and Woods. Is that the plan all along? Do you reckon? Do you think they're in cahoots? Do you think there should be shenanigans?
There might be some shenanigans. There definitely is some cahooting going on. But, what would be next if he does defend his title successfully? What would be next for Randy Orton?
Well, the thing is, we've got a huge thing coming up now. Literally, the announced team officially announced. We've got the draft coming up from Raw and SmackDown, so hopefully there'll be some new challenges, Drew McIntyre, for Kofi Kingston's WWE Championship, Drew McIntyre. But, I mean, it remains to be seen. At the moment, it's Randy Orton, your man, looking to become, 14-time champion here tonight?
Only 14. I mean, it's
14.
not that many, is it? But has Kofi Mania gone a bit cold?
I think he's out of all the title runs that we had with Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins as well, I think Kofi's been the best managed one. And like I said, if you list the people now with Randy Orton before him, he's beaten Kevin Owens, Ziggler, you could maybe argue, Daniel Bryan, and I think that he's been a great WWE champion, actually. I think SmackDown has not kind of missed the fact that it hasn't got a kind of star, because Kofi's kind of been the star on it, What are your thoughts on Kofi's title reign then?
I don't know, it has been very fun and enjoyable, but it was, I think the best part of it was seeing him finally getting his moment. It's not increased for me, since Kofi Mania hasn't gone up, it's just kind of stayed flat, which, you like to see a bit more of a rise from him. Yeah,
well, it'd be interesting, because we know that the most dangerous move, one of the most dangerous moves, the RKO, can be hit out of nowhere. And if Orton was to hit that tonight, then Kofi, I feel, would be the ex-champion. And will he get another chance again? It's been 10 long years. And we'll see here tonight as Orton is just going to take his sweet-ass time. And that's what Randy Orton does.
He is strategic.
He's like, right, the crowd got up for the Raw, bring him down now.
No, it's not like that.
Well, the fans definitely behind Kofi Kingston.
Oh, we know that Kofi's a quick-paced wrestler. And he's out of his comfort zone if things are a bit too slow for him, which, you want to take a wrestler out of their comfort zone.
Does Kofi, in this match, feel like he has to beat Randy Orton? Is the championship advantage maybe, not in neither man's hands at the moment? Has Randy Orton built up that much resentment within Kofi? He's forgetting about it.
I think so, yeah, but, you don't want Kofi to completely unhinge Randy Orton. We're only seeing Randy Orton at like 60% unhinged. If he jacks it up to 80, 90%, then Kofi will be in trouble. And, we know firsthand that Randy Orton can be a sadistic bastard.
That's the thing, and we've talked about the Kofi Kingston can actually reach that side. We've seen him getting aggressive recently, but I don't think he can get as dark as Orton can. And this is the question now, especially with Charles Robinson in charge. He's been there and seen that. So he's not going to let Randy Orton kind of get away with certain things. But maybe Kofi's just so annoyed. He just wants to prove he's better than Orton. And these two men wrestling at the moment, which would maybe think was the brawl. There's no doubt Kofi respects Orton, but there is no respect the other way, is there?
I think there is.
You reckon?
The character doesn't allow it, but there is definitely respect. Orton does respect Kofi in a personal level, because he's like a big teddy bear.
Storyline, not as in just
storyline. No, Randy Orton respects no one in storyline.
Randy Orton,
rightly so. Who else has been around for as long as he has and garnered as much respect and, currently going around now.
So what's next for Orton after this then?
Again, it leaves it open depending on the way this does go. Hopefully, Orton does get the victory and become a 14-time champion. I would like to see him, up there and equaling John Cena and Ric Flair's kind of amount. You know, if John Cena and Randy Orton do both get on 16 and the title does get vacated due to injury, I mean, that would be lush to see them both going at it.
That actually would be funny, yeah.
For a 17 time, you know, to take the mantle at the top of the pile.
Well, to be fair, with the Ric Flair problems recently, maybe they thought, well, let's bring Cena back for his, 17th, but Orton is definitely up there. How
Did
long
you bring Cena back or just give Orton 3 runs?
Well, this is the thing. You would give Orton probably 3 runs, but how long do you think Randy Orton has got left in him as a kind of main event talent?
Not much longer, you know. But then, you know, Orton, we've always known that he's not one to take risks. You know, we don't see him diving off of Hell in a Cell. We don't see him taking stupid risks. You know, he has had a few injuries throughout his time. You know, every athlete gets it, but you know, he's not had career-threatening injuries.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And you know, I think that's what sets Randy Orton aside from a majority of other wrestlers. But you know, with Randy Orton, he certainly has been everywhere and he's done everything.
Do you think he'd be happy with his... I know it's a silly question. Do you think he'd be happy with his career? You know, I was talking about the past just couple of years, you know, past maybe 5 years or so.
The past 5 years, well, you know, he's had the... if you're going back as far as 2014 with Seth Rollins and kind of like, you know, being in Triple H's pocket, it has been good. He's won a Royal Rumble in the past 5 years as well.
Oh, yeah.
He's, you know, he's won a title...
He beat Bray Wyatt, didn't he?
Yeah.
When he didn't go from it at WrestleMania. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's hope he wins tonight. Then we haven't gone for him. That's what I love more than
well,
anything else.
that's kind of my. It's a double bluff. You see, if I don't go for him, he wins.
Well, my man Bobby Roode won the tag team gold early, and Randy Orton looking for the WWE Championship here tonight.
Robert Roode.
He'll always be Bobby to me.
He's mad, Bobby.
And Orton trying to slow this down, get out of harm's way, but can't. Kofi just a barrage of shots. And Orton then just cheating with a poke to the eye.
Not cheating if the referee doesn't see it, James.
And you can see the marks on Randy Orton's chest.
His tight, ripped chest.
And he responds with a chop of his own. And you know, Kofi's been champion for 160 days as well. It's been quite a cool reign.
It has been a reign, but runs were meant to come to an end.
Orton there might be seeing double after the step up in Seguri by Kofi on the apron.
Sidesteps it, catches him with a kick to the jaw, and just simply hangs Kofi up. Now Orton picking up the pace. Shoulder barges Kofi off the edge of the apron into barricade. And you can see him, he's getting a bit angsty now.
Now Randy Orton going to the outside, keeping the attack on Kofi Kingston. Oh God, he's come around to the announce table. We've seen this before.
And we'll see it again.
Doesn't know which one to pick. Does his German look best for him?
Oh no, just hangs Kofi up on the barricade. Suplexes him back into the ring area.
The referee's counted up to 5.
Orton back in to break the count up.
He shows his experience. Now he's got Kofi again.
Plants him on the announce table.
Well, we might be seeing the end of New Day here tonight if Orton has his way. Kofi last man standing at the moment. He's not even standing.
Now goes for a second on the announce table. Throws him back in the ring into a cover. 1, 2. No, Kofi just staying in this one with a 2 count.
2.
Into a pinfall, making Kofi exert more energy. But Kofi managing to kick out.
The thing about Randy Orton, he seems to like inflicting punishment on other people.
Absolutely. Well, it buys you into his character placement then, doesn't it?
And with Kofi, though, doesn't matter how much punishment he's going to take, he'll still be in this one. Kofi's got the heart of a lion, there's no doubt about that.
But Orton's got the sting of a viper. And Orton uncalculated risks. And then he throws him into the corner. Kofi springs out of it with a kick.
And that shoulder might have popped there. He's getting Charles Robinson to check. But Orton's all about wasting time.
No, he was just lulling Kofi into a full sense of security. Kicks him in the midsection and throws him shoulder first into the ring post.
What, was he playing possum?
Hello, possums! That's just the intelligence of Randy Orton as he goes into the corner and just panders to the thousands and thousands of his fans in attendance and the millions and billions at home watching him on TV.
There's no doubt Randy Orton at the moment is in complete control of this match.
Kofi coming back with a shot to the midsection, a few chops to the chest, trying to bounce Orton's head off the steel steps. Orton blocks it and then returns the favour to Kofi. Charles shouting his count to Orton, and Orton's like, hang on a minute, son, hang on. Orton into the cover, but Kofi kicking out.
And Orton has just completely subdued Kofi Kingston here.
Were you expecting anything different?
Oh, I was expecting Kofi maybe to develop a little bit more fight, but Orton's just had an answer for everything, using his years of experience. But Kofi's got experience under fight. He's still not out of this yet. And Orton's got to realise that sooner rather than later.
Goes whip to the corner, but Kofi springs out of a clothesline, shocking Randy Orton.
And Kofi's got power in his own right. Now Kofi comes running in. Orton puts him on the apron. A big right hand to the ear. Now Kofi's going to spring his way back in.
Catches Orton on the head. Kofi's building up a bit of pace now, trying to get himself back into this match.
Well, there's no doubt he's going to have the fans behind him. As Orton's struggling to get to his feet. And here comes Kofi. Huge chops to the chest.
Orton looking to strike, but Kofi hit him first. Takes Orton down again. Looking for the boom drop. Hits its mark. TARDIS.
And now Kofi's calling for it. It's going to be the end. Trouble in Paradise.
RKO. RKO.
And now Kofi's going to end things now. Trouble in Paradise.
Now Orton catches him and just with a neck breaker into a cover. 2. No, Kofi kicking out.
Oh.
Of course the match shouldn't be over. You haven't seen the draping DDT yet or the scoop power slam.
Oh yeah, he's still got 3 moves left to hit, hasn't he? At least he's not put in a sleeper yet. I mean, that is one good thing that we've not seen in this match. Oh, wait a minute. Kofi might be in position here.
Oh, looking for the draping DDT, but Kofi had it scouted. Sends Orton over the top rope to the outside. Now Kofi looking to go flying. Wow, back first over the top rope into Orton. Now Kofi's certainly feeling this.
Well, Kofi's got no problem using himself as a weapon to keep the WWE Championship as he throws Orton back in. And now Kofi's going up top.
Crossbody, Orton rolls through into the cover 2. Oh.
Only managed to get 2.
2.
And now Kofi's going to go for SOS. Orton blocks it.
A lovely high. Still got the leaping ability he had 17 years ago.
I thought that was a gazelle for a second and not a professional wrestler.
But the cover only gets 2.
2. Right on the button and Kofi's in serious trouble. Now Orton picking Kofi out.
Looking to strike. Kofi blocks it. Hits 2 of his own. Kicks and punches from Kofi. Oh. Orton to the eyes. Charles Robinson didn't see a thing.
Oh, come on now, ref. How much is Orton lining your pockets?
SOS 2. No. Not enough to keep Orton down.
Well, both men down, but it's like missing at the moment. Kofi going to the outside. I don't know if that's a good idea, but high risk, high reward. Kofi up on top.
No, Orton crutching him up there. Cutting him off before he has a chance to strike.
Oh, superplex as well, one of his moves, isn't it? Randy Orton does love a superplex. As he looks to hit it on Kofi now. Trying to get up, but Kofi's fighting it. Kofi's fighting it with everything he's got.
Moving the arm. Coming blows to the back of Orton now. Knocks him off the top, but Orton fighting back.
And Orton with vicious right hands. And the Tate fists. And Kofi might not know where he is right now.
I'm sure Orton's going to tell him as Kofi goes through the legs. Pulls the leg out. Sends Orton head first into the turnbuckle. But Orton with his scoop power slam. Vintage Randy Orton. 2. No, just a 2 count.
2. So why does Randy Orton take so long to do his covers, Dan? What is it? What's his plan?
He's giving him a chance.
I don't know. I know you're a huge Randy Orton fan. I don't know why. Like, he's that egotistical. He just loves his own work. Do you know what I mean? Like,
he's admiring his genius.
And Kofi's caught in the apron. We've only got 2 moves left before this match finishes, boys and girls.
Absolutely that. And we're going to see the 4th move of doom from Randy Orton. The suspension DDT. Boom. Hits its mark. And now Orton's going to be pounding the mat.
So after the draping DDT, what happens?
The 3 most dangerous letters in the WWE. A move so deadly, he named it after himself.
No. Yep. He's just taking his time. Sorry, my bad.
Well, he's not getting up yet. He needs to wait for him to get up before he hits it anyway.
That's fine. He does what he wants, doesn't he? I remember Randy Orton dislocated his shoulder once trying this, punching the mat. It's hilarious. Anyway, he's going to go now. RKO on Kofi.
Oh, Kofi catches it, rolls him
1,
up. 2. No, Orton with a kick out. Kofi sidestepping, kick to the face of Orton, who was charging in.
And Kofi's in a crumpled mess at the moment, trying his best.
Boom! RKO out of no. I didn't even see that one coming.
Oh my God, we got a new champ.
1, 2. Charles Robinson never pays attention to anything in a match, yet pays attention to that.
Oh, well, no. Foot on the rope. You got to call that.
It would have been over if he hadn't, though, James.
All right, Dad, we talked about how dangerous that move is earlier. And Kofi managed to move his leg. And now Orton's wondering, what should he do? Looks like Orton's almost certainly going to walk out as champion. And what's Orton going to do now? Like a super RKO?
A super duper RKO.
He's used all his moves, Dan. He's got nothing left.
Well, there's always something in his repertoire, James. A punt to the head. It's always a surefire winner.
Well, he's looking down at Kofi now, and this move was banned from WWE.
And he's going to kick Kofi's head into the bleachers.
Oh no!
Straight for a field goal.
Well, this will end Kofi's title reign
And his career.
if the punt is successful.
Laces out. Oh no, Kofi just dodges it. Trouble in paradise.
Orton's down. Kofi to cover. 1, 2,
2,
3. And Kofi beats your man, Randy Orton, still WWE champion.
Clean as a whistle, and that's the easiest I've seen Orton go down in a long, long time as well.
Yeah, that's quite a surprise. Just one, like he crumpled well. There's no doubt about that. But you got to think that match for me. Did it go too long? I know I've complained all night about matches not going too long, but did that match go too long?
I don't know, because it is what you'd expect from an Orton match. He's not Sid Slow, but he's I think it goes. Orton definitely controlled the pace of this match, and it was a fun, entertaining match. For me, Orton went down a bit too easily.
I think that shows that Kofi Main's going to keep running wild, and Randy Orton is going to have to move on to other things, So Kingston retains the title. Look, Street Profits are backstage enjoying Clash of Champions, all dressed up in their smart glitter gear. What could be better than Street Profits? And they're talking about the King of the Ring finals.
Versus Corbin up next then.
King Booker.
Tez as well, isn't it?
Yeah, we had King Ted. Well, the King of the Ring final has been moved to Monday Night Raw, but we have got a bonus point on the line for it. So the winner will have a bonus point. Should we talk about that? Who have you gone for as your King of the Ring winner? In the match, yeah.
Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I've gone Corbin as well. All right, so that doesn't matter. So bonus point. We tried. Gable might get the upset tomorrow night on Raw. We just don't know. After the Orton Kofi match, we both get another point. So it is 8-7 with 2 matches to go. And I just realised Roman Reigns hasn't wrestled yet. So all the other titles aren't as important as a Roman Reigns match.
No.
And it all started with a rogue fork truck. What have you thought of the build-up to Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan?
It's been like a freaking episode of EastEnders or fucking Hollyoaks or something stupid like that. Acting is not 90% of these wrestlers' forte. So, don't.
Well, we had the 2 Eric Rowan lookalikes, and then we thought it was going to be Daniel Bryan, but then he got chokeslammed through the announce table. And Eric Rowan has kind of gone on a path of destruction.
So who done it then?
I guess it was Eric Rowan. I mean, he's got his match. He hit a camera into Roman Reigns on SmackDown as well. I mean, it's a prominent position. But, should it be this high up on the card? I just don't know. Roman is still a star. There's no doubt about that. But has Roman Reigns lost a bit of his main event talent, or is he still the guy he always was?
I don't think he has. I think it is good that he's being kept on the back burner. He's not completely out of the picture, but he's not holding any titles. He's not in any title match, which is good for the Roman Reigns character, who everyone thought he's getting pushed to the hilt, which it is a relief for me. But this story, it needs to end. Yeah. It's getting boring.
Well, like I said, it was going to be the big thing, but we didn't even have a payoff SummerSlam, and it's led here as well, Roman Reigns. Prediction-wise, I don't think it's any surprise. I've gone Roman Reigns.
I too have gone for Roman Reigns.
Reigns just seems the obvious choice in this. I mean, he's been beaten down by Rowan these past few weeks, so he's going to get his revenge here tonight. So with just one match left, have you got Strowman as your Universal Champion? I suppose we'll find out a little bit later. But right now, Roman Reigns is ready for Eric Rowan.
We're not live, James.
Yeah, well, fuck.
Rowan making his way inside, and Roman Reigns cutting him off before he can even get into the ring.
Yeah, Reigns meaning business, and Rowan has beaten up Reigns recently. Not many people have superiority over the big dog.
So we're saying it's not a step down for Roman Reigns. Is it a step up for Eric Rowan?
It's huge for Eric Rowan to be involved in the co-main event. As always, he takes out Reigns. Rowan's always been a kind of tag team wrestler out of a kind of even all the Wyatt family. Maybe put him last, and now he finds himself in this situation.
situation.
It's got to be great for Eric Rowan now he's on the attack of Reigns. And this two men, this will be a slugfest, a slobber knocker. And Eric Rowan now Irish whipping Roman Reigns into barricade. And a huge shot, and Rowan doesn't care.
Has this match even started yet?
Well, as anything goes, it's no disqualification.
Throws him chest first onto the announce table. It's a huge throw into barricade as well.
Well, the rules of this match are there are no rules. And if Rowan looks like Zed will get a statement win, if Rowan come out of here victorious by beating Roman Reigns, then, you know, the sky's the limit for this man as he's beating up Reigns at the moment. Just huge right hands. Reigns started strong, but been stopped ever since.
So when Daniel Bryan has a match, Eric Rowan's by his side, but Eric Rowan's having a match. It's Daniel Bryan. I mean, this friendship only works one way.
Well, Rowan did chokeslam Bryan for the announce table, so maybe there's some problems that left to be resolved there. Where Bryan, I thought, was still in cahoots with Rowan. Now I'm not so sure. As Rowan hits the stairs hard, Reigns managing to move. He's got the kendo stick.
But they're no match for the steel stairs of Eric Rowan, who just slams it into Roman's face, sends him crashing over barricade. And now he's got a kendo stick all for himself, and he's going to use it just the once and then throw it away. Disposable kendo. And these fans have certainly had a treat. It's another match that's going into the stands.
Well, they've definitely got that here tonight. There's no doubt about that. As Rowan now just clubbing away. And Rowan now picking up a bin that must weigh at least £50.
At least £75 and just slamming it onto Reigns. And that's if it was empty. Which by the size of the people in them 2 rows, it won't be.
It's full of mustard. Rowan now just beating up Reigns. And Reigns trying to respond, but for every shot, all Rowan needs to do is one, and it knocks the big dog down.
So Eric Rowan, could he become a legitimate contender?
I've never really seen it with him. Do you know what I mean? I think, like I said, tag team might be a little bit better. As a single star, he's definitely got a look, but apart from personality and moveset, it's not really much else. I mean, am I being too harsh?
No, you're not. I preferred the Wyatt family tag team of Eric Rowan to the Bludgeon Brothers. I thought the Bludgeon Brothers was a bit meh.
Yeah. What about his team with Daniel Bryan?
Again, that was a bit flat. I think, having Daniel Bryan certainly raised it up a notch or 5. So, yeah, why not?
That's better than them ones. That's good to know. And now Reigns has pulled Rowan to ringside and hits a drive-by on the apron. And now he's got his attention to the announce table, looking to move the furniture around a little bit. And he's getting ready, but here comes Rowan, and my God, how fast did the man go there? Absolutely ripping into Roman Reigns. Now both men finally in the ring.
Well, do you think the Fiend is watching it from his Wyatt compound? What his former protege is doing now?
Well, I think the Fiend is a lot closer than everybody thinks
here
tonight.
Do you know something the rest of us don't?
Well, I'm just saying.
Have you been talking to your man in the back?
I've been talking to my my hand puppets, and they tell me certain things. They tell me at the moment Eric Rowan is dominating Roman Reigns. Did he just shout, "I love ferrets"? I don't know. Oh, right, cool. So Rowan slamming down Reigns. He just picks him up easily and tosses him like a sack of potatoes.
A huge splash off the ropes.
Well, he could have maybe gone for the cover, but chose not to. And Reigns might be suffering from internal bleeding.
Oh, the dreaded IB.
He's definitely struggling at the moment as Rowan going to that second rope.
Rowan is throwing him about.
And Reigns is in serious trouble.
That is a beard and 3/4, that, isn't it?
That is a lovely beard by Rowan and a nice back elbow as well. Now he goes for the cover, but Reigns managing to kick out. I mean, that must take a lot of product for Eric Rowan to keep that beard the way he does.
To keep it in check.
I mean, he says he doesn't do any work, but you know he spends at least an hour a day on it.
At least an hour and 45 minutes. It's just a running kick to the ribs. This is definitely a different Eric Rowan to the one we've seen in the past.
He's just screaming at Reigns to stay down.
And do you think he's in all his rights to be screaming at Reigns? I mean, he's kept the big dog subdued thus far in the match.
This is the weird thing. I don't know where this Eric Rowan has come from. We know him as a kind of monster, but never like this. Maybe it makes you think someone like Lars Sullivan or someone like that was scheduled for this, but they changed it up to Eric Rowan. He's got if you're given it, you've got to run with it. And at the moment, he's not doing too bad. as he takes Reigns out again with side slam, but only gets a 2.
2. But does Eric Rowan know what to do against, like, you know, a legitimate main event competitor like Roman Reigns?
Well, I think you're right. I think Rowan shot himself in the foot by fucking up the relationship with Daniel Bryan. He's not got that in his corner now that could give him all of the advice to actually beat someone like Roman Reigns, as opposed to going at your own. We've always seen with Rowan, he needed someone in his ear to kind of tell him what to do. And at the moment, yes, he's a monster, but he's uncontrollable. You know, we don't know what his end game is apart from ending Roman Reigns.
Well, that may be his end game, you know, just taking out the biggest dog in the WWE. And it certainly would make a statement if he was able to do that.
No doubt. Without a doubt. And it's true. When you think about how many people challenged The Undertaker over the years just for him being there. And this is exactly the same with Roman Reigns. As Rowan now is exposing the apron on the LED screen there. And now he's going to slam Reigns face first. And a huge big boot just turning the lights off of Roman Reigns.
He throws him back in the ring into the cover. No, just a 2 count.
2. And Rowan might be getting just a little bit frustrated.
So for the last few minutes, it has been all Eric Rowan.
But we know the fight of Roman Reigns. He's been in there before. And look at him now fighting back. Right hands trying to get back into it.
Oh, so Eric Rowan's slightly larger.
And every time Reigns tries to get back in, Rowan takes him down. But now you've got to think about the frustration of Eric Rowan, like I said, being in there on his own. And Reigns, he's more well known for being in a group. But he's definitely flying solo.
So is this Eric Rowan's most high-profile match? I know he's been in like tag team matches for the title and won them, but you know, for Eric Rowan on his own,
I think without doubt. I think if he does well tonight, he'll get more opportunities. If he doesn't, well, he could go the way of Big Cass. You know, so Rowan here goes for the clothesline. Reigns dodging it.
Reigns is starting to fire his way back into it, but Rowan grabbing the leg, dragging Reigns back to the outside, and just throws him into the ring post.
And it's just the frustration now of Rowan, as he's been dominating. And now he's got the stairs from the outside.
Throws him over the top. But he's a completely unchained Rowan. A dangerous Rowan.
Well, I think it's what we're seeing now. There is no leash on him. As he's got the stairs. He's got one target, which is Roman Reigns' head.
A Rowan on his own.
Here he comes. My God, Reigns managing to deadlift up Eric Rowan. Samoan drop. But might have done more damage to himself. Rowan did manage to kick out. And Rowan ups, who hit the offensive move.
Comes charging in towards Roman in the corner, but Roman sidesteps. Now he's got the steel ring stairs in his hands. Straight into the head of Rowan. Follows it up with a Superman punch. This could be it. 1, 2, no. Rowan managing to kick out.
And Reigns had a look of disbelief then. As Rowan, I don't know if he plans to or not, is going to the...
And he's on his feet first. He may have stumbled back down to his knees, but he seems the more into this match, even after being hit with the steel stairs and a Superman punch.
Reigns knows he's got to dig deep if he wants to beat Eric Rowan. Reigns now's the other side of the ring to Eric Rowan. Here he comes, building up a head of steam.
But gets caught by Rowan, and he just pulls him up for a powerbomb. Slams him straight through the announce table.
And Reigns maybe out, incredible power.
Immediately
throws him back into the ring, straight into a cover. 1, 2, no.
Reigns somehow gets showed up at 2.
2.
And even after all that, Rowan's got to think to himself, maybe I should have hooked the leg, but a monster like that, I'm not going to give him technical advice.
I wouldn't give him anything.
But to beat Roman Reigns, you're going to have to do everything at very best, and catching a man in midair there.
And just the power of pulling him up onto his shoulders. Roman's not a fucking small guy.
And he just crashes through the announce table.
But credit where it's due to Rowan. He immediately picks him up, throws him into the ring and goes for a cover. Doesn't dilly-dally about.
This is a different Rowan to what we've seen.
He throws him into the top as he throws him into the timekeeper's area. Looking to arrange a bit more furniture. Oh, the dreaded ring bell. We've seen many a man fall to this, and he just cracks it on the top of the back of Roman. Going back out into the fans. Roman certainly had his bell rung.
Now Reigns just trying to catch his breath. Probably doesn't even know where he is, and Rowan just hunting him down.
Reigns using all the technical equipment, bouncing off the head of Rowan. Sends him head first into all the boxes that are set up there.
Well, hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of audio sound equipment there. Both men just fighting past it. And now Rowan got the claw.
And slams Reigns through a table.
And Rowan has demolished Roman Reigns. I think the only man I've seen deliver more punishment, maybe two men, to Roman Reigns, Strowman and Lesnar. Apart from that, Rowan is right up there.
He's in a fireman carry now, carrying him up to the entranceway.
The big camera booms there, and that's what Rowan used on SmackDown. Might come up with another idea what to use on the stage. And then again, he's got hold of the camera. It's deja vu.
Oh, but Reigns grabs a metal pole straight into the ribs of Rowan.
And now Reigns has got the camera boom.
Straight into the shoulder of Eric Rowan.
And now Roman Reigns has got a serious look at his back for everything that's happened to him these past couple of months.
And again into the face of Eric Rowan.
And now Reigns smirking.
No, James hasn't got a cigarette in his gob. He's got a smile on his face. Because he knows what it can finally take to down the big monster, Eric Rowan.
Superman punch. Rowan goes down the entranceway. And Reigns now cocking for another Superman punch. He's spear time. What?
Oh, big boot.
Wait a minute.
Luke Harper.
It's Luke Harper. He's back and he's just booted Reigns in the face. Well, former Bludgeon brother and Wyatt family member. Last time I've seen Harper's worlds collide just before WrestleMania.
As he throws Rowan into Reigns. Discus clothesline.
Well, what's worse than one of them? Another monster come along. And Reigns is in all sorts of trouble now. Rowan's got the claw on.
Plants Reigns. 1, 2, 3.
Fucking hell. Eric Rowan beats Roman Reigns.
With a little help from his friend.
Shocking. I can't believe Luke Harper was out the door. How did he get back and team up with Eric Rowan? I'm nearly speechless. Dan, what are your thoughts on that match?
I thought it was good. It certainly put Eric Rowan over as a fucking complete legitimate monster, and having the return of Luke Harper just puts the icing on top of the cake. I mean, you know, you want something surprising from a match, and that certainly is a fucking surprise. I
mean, without a doubt, Harper returning here is shocking. Eric Rowan get the victory should be the biggest shock, but it's Harper. I mean, they built up a tag team sacrificing Reigns, and if that's the case, we talk about happening. I never thought this would happen. Crazy stuff, but when you want to say, you know, anything can happen in WWE pay-per-view, and we're finally getting it there. The Bludgeon Brothers are back, and that is shocking. And was it Luke Harper all along, Dan?
Well, I think that'd be left for Raw or SmackDown
tonight. But anyway, we have only got one match left. Points-wise, it is 8-7. After that one, neither of us got a point. But in our 11th match, this is for all the marbles. Seth Rollins getting interviewed, saying he's ready for tonight. And he's going to retain the Universal Championship. We're just about to find out. Braun Strowman, Seth Rollins, and it's next. So this has been a bit of a weird build-up then, I suppose, when you think about what's happened between Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman becoming tag team champions. Braun Strowman was announced as number one contender beforehand. Does Braun Strowman deserve a Universal title match now?
I think he does. You know, he's. We mentioned earlier during a tag team match that he should have already been a champion in some capacity. So, yeah, you know, there's no absolute reason why he shouldn't.
Yeah, I'm still not sure. I mean, as number one contender, Strowman is impressive, but like I said, I think they've dropped the ball with him too much. So, prediction-wise, Dan, I know I've even drawn it if we've gone the same, but who, if you go someone different, who have you gone for in this match?
I have gone for Seth Rollins.
Oh, you can see, Dan, I'm smirking, aren't I?
No, James, you haven't got a cigarette in the gob. You've got a smile on your face, you smug bastard.
Yeah, because I have won the pay-per-view, so it's no matter what happens here, it's 9-4 overall. But will Seth Rollins leave here as Universal Champion? That is a question we're going to ask ourselves now. I think he's definitely the strong favourite. Dan, why have you gone Rollins for?
Again, you know, much like the Kofi Kingston saga, he needs to put himself over, and instead of you know, a legitimate WWE performer, he's going to put himself over against the monster. You know, he's beaten Roman Reigns, so the Beast Monster Slayer, you know, should be able to stand tall against Braun Strowman.
We'll see what happens here. Strowman and Rollins wrestled probably about 3 hours ago now, so they should be relatively fresh. It depends who you think took more punishment in that match, but Strowman looks ready here. I think we're done by 10.
Braun Blowman. So I'll pose this question many a time. The Universal Championship, is it a Universal Heavyweight Championship or is it just its own title?
I'm going to do something crazy and flip it round. And you want you to answer that question.
Well, I think, with the people that have held it, it is definitely a heavyweight title. I don't think it quite has a legitimacy of the WWE Championship, but it hasn't got the lineage of it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But, after a few years, then maybe, one might argue it is a legitimate championship.
Well, Braun thinks it's a little legitimate championship because he's gone right on the attack on Seth Rollins, clubbing blows into the corner a couple of times, going for the running power slam, but Rollins managing to dodge it.
Yeah, goes for his kicks. Strowman catches one. Seth flips out of it. A couple of super kicks. Could he be looking for the stomp early on?
Well, now Seth, both men think they can take advantage early on. Seth got for the top.
Frog splash. No. Referee barely gets a one. And Strowman just pushing Seth Rollins off, nearly out the ring.
Well, Seth Rollins, shocked look on his face. And now he might be looking for the curb stomp.
No, gets caught by Strowman. Is he trying to go for the same strategy he used against the beast incarnate Brock Lesnar? Well, trying to get this one over and done with as quickly as possible.
I think that's the best Rollins that we've seen, trying to get the job done like that. And like I said, with Rollins, it's good that he can wrestle match if he wants to, or try and get it done early. I think for Strowman, it's going to help him get the match done as soon as possible as well. Because I think the longer it goes on, I think it does favour Rollins, even with the punishment that Rollins can take. Because like you said, we've seen it before with Lesnar. With Strowman, he's come up short. So again, much like Orton versus Kofi earlier, the challenger definitely has to kind of beat the champion. This will just to kind of prove a point that Strowman can hang at Rollins' level, much like Kofi had to hang at Orton's. I think you agree with that. And now it's Strowman with a huge headbutt, just sending Seth Rollins down. And there's no doubt Braun Strowman's gone hot and cold. And I think the important thing as well to look around WrestleMania time, see where Braun Strowman is on the card. I think the past couple of years, especially with the Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and of course the teaming up with Nicholas, he's kind of not been treated right. But this is a little bit better, and maybe under Paul Heyman's guide on Monday Night Raw, Strowman can actually become a star, and he might shock the world here tonight. We've seen just shocking Luke Harper returning earlier, and of course titles changing hands, and we might be shocked again with Strowman.
So we've seen 3 members of the Wyatt family back to back. And looking at your predictions, you've got Fiend in brackets, James.
I have. I think the Fiend will show up after Rollins wins and attack him, setting up their match at Hell in a Cell. But like I said, Strowman could shock the world if he walks out here as Universal Champion. He just did his classic running into the ring post, as he always does.
So if Braun Strowman does kind of shock us and come out on top, will the Fiend attack him?
Well, this is the question. And Strowman catching Seth Rollins there off the top with a clubbing blow. There's no doubt Strowman's got the power, but it's just taken it up to that next level.
Well, the thing with Braun Strowman is he seems more successful in a match when it's not a title match.
And now Strowman running around the ring.
And just runs through Rollins, sends him ragdoll into the floor. So Steph, still the man with his shoulders, with a company on his shoulders?
I think at the moment it's kind of split now. I don't think there's no longer is a kind of guy. But I think if you look at the number one this past year, it might be Rollins because he has beaten Lesnar clean.
Absolutely, yeah. And Seth rolling into the ring and then rolling straight out the other side. That sets Strowman up for another running shoulder block takedown. And this time he sends Seth upside down into barricade. Now this isn't the start that Seth kind of had anticipated, coming out the blocks quickly.
We talk about motivation, and the motivated Strowman is something that you don't want.
And again, Seth rolling to the outside. Is it wise for him? I mean, he seems to be doing it on purpose, but the past 2 times he's been on the outside, he's been run through by Strowman, who seems to be building up a head of steam. But Seth with a drop toe hold sends Braun over the announce table. Well, he was playing James.
Hello, possums. Oh my God, and Strowman there just taking out the announce table. Luckily the German announcers had moved.
9!
You just see a little hand underneath.
Little hands.
And Seth now would take out a victory, referee up to 6, referee up to 8, but Rollins is not having that.
Suicide dive sends Strowman straight over the announce table. Seth's urging him to get back up again. Diving through for the second time. This time the table gives way.
Just under the weight of Strowman.
Well, that's 2 announce tables down.
And Strowman might have busted his nose well. And Seth will not give up, though. Here he comes, but Strowman catches him.
Looking for a running power slam, but Seth with a backslide sends him knee first into the steel steps. Super kick sends the Spanish announcers scattering.
Oh, Strowman on the announce table. Rollins looking to go up.
Well, Seth, he's going to go flying. He needs to pull the big guns out the bag. But Strowman up and just throws Seth off the top turnbuckle, but that doesn't stop Seth's momentum, who attacks Strowman, who's climbing up onto the second rope. And again, third time up for Seth. Looking for a superplex.
He can't hit this, surely.
Don't call me Shirley, but Strowman's hanging on for dear life.
And Strowman does not look comfortable on top there.
Well, he's thrown Seth off again. And Strowman is busted open. Is that internal bleeding or a broken nose?
Well, looks like a broken nose. Be difficult breathing as well, but he's up top. And Strowman doesn't go on top normally.
Fucking hell.
Whoop! He's got it!
Oh! Jesus! Braun hurt his own knee, but I think he hurt Seth even more. Rolls into the cover. 2. No. Seth managing to kick out.
Well, if that can't beat you for £300 off the top, squashing you like a pancake. Bearing down at you.
Oh, he did land straight on his knee.
And you would think if he didn't, the bad landed, if he had landed properly straight on Rollins, he might be Universal Champion now.
Well, there'd be a Seth-shaped imprint in the canvas.
And now Strowman having to use the ropes to get to his feet.
I think Seth's got a couple of broken ribs.
And now maybe running power slam.
But Seth managing with a backslide straight into a sleeper hold. Drops Strowman to one knee.
Now Strowman down to 2 knees. And Strowman's passing out. Referee checking. No, just when it looked like he's out.
Grabs the arm of Seth, who responds with a stomp. 1. Jesus.
Oh,
Strowman
my God.
kicked out at 1.
1. Out of a curb stomp. One of the most protected finishers. And now he's going to try again.
Second stomp. Sending his broken nose into the canvas. But again, Strowman kicking out.
So hang on a minute. So the first one got 1. And the second one got 2.
The third one should get 3.
Oh, it should get the job done. And Rollins is shocked. Strowman looks like a monster. But it might be out now.
Third time. Could this be the lucky one for Seth, who takes his time getting into the cover?
1, 2. Strowman. 3 stomps. Couldn't get the job done.
Will it take a super stomp?
Well, maybe Rollins can't beat Strowman. Well, Strowman might not know where he is, but he's still in this Universal title match. And now Rollins is going to go for the full stomp. We've never seen anything like it. Here he comes.
No, Strowman plucks him out the air. But the bad knee stops his progress. Is he looking for the pedigree? Hits it.
And we haven't seen Rollins bust out that move in a while.
Then the stomp. This has got to be it, surely.
1, 2, 3. Well, don't call me Shirley Dan, but Seth Rollins is still your Universal Champion in an absolute car crash of a match, but a really enjoyable car crash, you know. I think that's a great main event. Maybe could have had a little bit more time, but I think the moves that we got were cool. Is 4 curb stomps a little bit of overkill, though? Or does that sell the
didn't
character?
it take 3 to put Brock Lesnar down?
Yeah.
So, you know, it means Strowman is 1 curb stomp stronger than Lesnar?
I think you might be right, but Strowman again comes up short in title matches, which is a huge shame for Braun Strowman. But the future looks bright for Seth Rollins. He might have lost his tag team titles, but he's still Universal Champion. It means after that as well, final points tally, it ends 9-8 to me at Clash of Champions. In a great night, and as Seth Rollins is celebrating being Universal Champion, we're just going to run through the rest of the card. Alright, so let's go back to the very start, Dan. Gulak versus Carrillo versus Dorado for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Well, again, you know, I wasn't too struck on the ending, but it was a very entertaining, and it was a non-stop action.
I thought it was a great way to start the show. What was your score at 5?
3 1/4.
I gave that 3 3/4. I thought it was a really pleasant surprise. AJ versus Cedric, it was too fast. 2 guys that can really go, just wasn't given enough time, especially in Cedric's hometown with his mum fucking watching. 3 out of 5 for me, basic.
Yeah, well, I just said basically a squash match, very quick. It was all AJ Styles, and he did look strong throughout the match. 3 1/4.
Then we had Rollins versus Ziggler and Rude.
It was quite a fast-paced match, and you could have called the accidental ending right from the start. You know, you knew two guys who was going to be in a championship match at the end of the night would have kind of come together in some capacity. But still, you know, Ziggler, what they're going to do from here? 3 1/4 match.
I gave it 3.5 just because Bobby Roode is now relevant again. Charlotte versus Bayley. Again, weird finish from the turnbuckle. Too fast, like 4 minutes for a Bayley versus Charlotte match. What was everybody thinking? I gave that 3 out of 5.
Yeah, very, very quick match. A quick start as well. Bayley with a pin and run. That was quite entertaining. 3 out of 5 for me too.
Yeah. And then the Revival versus New Day.
This is the Revival we loved and needed. It was a very good match, and the Revival actually looked like fucking killers, which I have no complaints about it. 4.5.
It wasn't my favourite match of the night, but it was my favourite story told of the night, if that makes sense. And I gave that a 4 out of 5. Then we have Bliss versus Cross versus Fire and Desire. Again, a basic tag team matchup, but Cross looks good, and a bit more work for her and Bliss. I think there's a lot of potential there for a team.
Absolutely, yeah. It was an enjoyable match, and Nikki was great as she shone throughout the match. 3 1/4.
Yeah, I go at 3.5. Nakamura versus Miz. Thoughts?
Sammy Mora works well. It was something that was needed by Nakamura with a very good solid match, and hopefully this is kind of like the revival of Shinsuke.
Yeah, and I mean it didn't hurt the Miz too much because, like I said, you'll definitely get his rematch. For me, match.
Oh, we'll scores to that.
3.5.
3.5.
The match that made me sit up and take notice: Banks versus Becky. Fans really into it, which is always a great thing. Finish is not great with a disqualification, but the brawl around was something really, really special. And I think I'm wanting to see, out of all the matches, I want to see that match again.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great match between the two. Leaves it open for more. And again, I want it. I want more. Yeah. 4.5.
I gave that a 4 1/4 out of 5. And just tell my voice is going as well how much I fucking spoke tonight. I'll let you speak on this one. Orton versus Kofi.
Well, it pushes Kofi up to the next level, and it gives him a legitimate reason for being the WWE champ. Randy Orton did control the match for the majority of it, which is what you'd expect from a Randy Orton match. You know, this victory, it doesn't hamper Randy, and it helps elevate Kofi. So, you know, it is a win-win kind of match for the both of them. I gave that a 3 1/4.
I gave that 3.5. Reigns versus Rowan. Basic big man brawl. Same Roman Reigns things we see. I mean, you can insert Drew McIntyre into that Rowan match. You would say Rowan's probably a bit more competitive. And then the finisher with Luke Harper coming in. That was a nice surprise. Didn't see that happening. Rowan get the victory is nice. And let's see how they can kind of blow it afterwards. But I thought that was quite well done.
Yeah, it was, as you say, it was a two big man story kind of showing match. And, you know, the main thing from that, Harper being back, which is absolutely fucking spot on.
Yeah. I gave that 3 3/4.
I gave that a 4.
And then the main event, Rollins versus Braun. Both men really, really bought it. It's actually my match of the night just because it was, again, fun. Maybe, you know, a bit too short in some regards, but when it's two guys giving it the best, that's kind of what you want to see, isn't it? You know, as main eventers.
Absolutely, yeah. It was a very good match. Strowman looks like the monster that we wanted him to look like. And Seth, he now looks unstoppable. I mean, what is next for Rollins?
Yeah, without a doubt. This is the question here. What was your score for that?
4 1/4.
4 1/4. So what was your match of the night?
My match of the night, I'm going to have to give it to Banks versus...
So Banks Lynch for you. Mine is Rollins versus Braun. And like I said, tonight is all about Seth Rollins, who's looking at his Universal Championship. The night will be good for Seth. I think as an overall score for pay-per-view, I think... Oh my God, I was right!
Well, you might have been right, but you get no points for it.
I don't care. Look at the reaction.
He's here.
The Fiend is here. And he's got Seth, Sister Abigail,
on the stage.
What's next for Seth Rollins? Well,
I think that's been answered now.
The Fiend is here. Oh my God, look at the way he's holding Seth as well, like he's just killed him. Well, hurt or heel. And it looks like Rollins will be coming to hell. Mandible Claw. And the attack's still on. Well, my God. What a way to win a pay-per-view. My score's just improving from that as well. The Fiend is here. Absolutely brilliant. Well, that's just up my score. Because if you look at the card for tonight and you think there wasn't maybe a standout match that usually would improve my rating from it, but everything was pretty solid. And even with a time, 3.5 hours with kickoff as well, so 4 hours, I think it's still a bit too long, but well worth it. I think there's a couple of matches you could have cut from that. But still, good show. And what a way to end a pay-per-view. 8 3/4 out of 10.
Well, mine was, I was just writing down 8 1/4. But that Fiend's ending, that just bumped it up to 8.5. Very enjoyable pay. There wasn't a letdown match on there, but there wasn't a shining light match. It was, a constant level throughout.
So that is it. Our next episode is WWE versus WCW, where it's all about the attitude. But until then, don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at W Network Review or
at Vince McDan, WWE.
I'm at J_Rollins. Across all the Google platforms. Send us an email at WNRpodcast@gmail.com or follow us on Instagram, the WNR Podcast. We're on Facebook.
Yes, Facebook. You can come and find our page and give us a like with the WWE Network Review podcast. So you can come and find me and add me as a friend. I am Vince McDan.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, W Net Review Podcast. We've got all the latest clips on there. Podcasts go at the same time on YouTube. There are places like SoundCloud.
On your phone.
We've got live shows on Spreaker Radio, on Stitcher Radio, and of course iTunes. Where you can download, subscribe, rate and review there.
What about the website, James? Is it any closer to completion? The WNRpodcast.com?
It should be coming in the new year. But that is it for now. Like I said, next episode, WWE versus WCW. I have been James Rollins, and as always, I was joined by
Dan White.
And if there's one thing we've learned, is just let him in. Bye.
Bye.